After a ridiculously stacked weekend of UFA, excuse me, we got ourselves a continuation of Street Fighter League Japan. After all that, you already know these guys are going to be extra hungry. This is going to be day 3 of Division S. And man, I can guarantee you, these guys have been grinding it out throughout all of these days that have passed since that big major in France. Vicious here with St. Cola to bring you all the action. We got Crazy Raccoon going up against Nagoya, NTPOJA, Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto versus Good 8 Squad, and then Victrix 5 Gaming against CAG Osaka as our marquee matchup. St. Cola, how are you feeling about that?
I feel like the menu was absolutely stacked once again, as it always is out here at Street Fighter League Japan. I can't wait to see what these players have brought from the singles over to the team tournament. But let's break that down real quick in terms of the rule set. If y'all forgot, I'll remind you just a little bit. We do have the away and the home sides returning. The away side will put up the characters and players up first, as per usual, and the home side will put up second. That gives them a slight advantage, but that doesn't always mean they get the victory. We do have a little bit more on the home side in terms of victories out here for this start of this league. However, it's not always a determiner. On top of all that, we have the first of 2, the first of 2, and the first of 3. And then if need be, if the points are tied, we get that extra game. It's first of 2 this time. A little bit of a switch up. And let me switch up real quick. Look at this. The Red Bull Gaming Sphere in Tokyo. You got the No Motion boys, the homies, doing a little bit of commentary out there, and a stacked crowd of people engaging in the action. That is so cool. It's always great to see people, again, physically being out there enjoying the game like it's a sporting event. We talk about it every single time. It's ever so important. Japan really puts on for Street Fighter, man. It don't matter where it's at. They are willing to come out, whether it's offline or online action. As long as it's Street Fighter, they are there to support it.
Yeah, I think that's what all the extra traffic was all about, coming back from that area. I gotta say, I was like, oh yeah, you know, maybe I should probably stop by. And I checked the time and I'm like, I probably cannot. I have to make sure to actually be here for the broadcast. But with that in mind, again, we've talked about what goes on in the realm of Street Fighter League Japan. This is absolutely live. So if you guys have any sort of questions that linger on throughout the entirety of the day or else the entirety of the season, always feel free to throw it up in the chat and we will always try to answer to the best of our abilities. But of course, we always have to thank our sponsors that have been a huge pivotal piece towards throwing on some of these events, right? Title Holdings especially being one of them. And the fact that they have the whole stadium listed for them right now shows how much of an impact they have here for Street Fighter League Japan. And it leads us to this right here, right? Not only is Japan fighting for the prestige and honor of being champions, but they're also heavily rewarded at that. 9 million for first, 4 million for second, and $1 million for third, with a supplementary 50K prize given to the championship team players, rounding up to $15 million. Pretty ridiculous.
And they're also playing towards that top spot to fight it out against the US and EU teams. We've already seen the teams for EU listed, and some of the players, not all, because they're wondering where the birds are going to be at. I know we're all thinking about where they're going to be placed, but also the US, we've had the team names listed for that, but not the team people just yet. We'll get those filled out in the next couple of months because it's going to be starting next couple of months, and I can't wait to see what happens with that. But back to Street Fighter League Japan. Shouts out to the boys, you know, cracking out there. I wish I had one right here with me, but I just have water. That's all I can take right now. But it's cool once again to see everyone just drumming up and getting ready for Street Fighter League, whether it be on the US, EU side of things, people preparing, thinking about their teams, their order, people watching Japan too as well. I know people in America are watching this and trying to see what team's going to be reigning supreme out here, who they should be looking out for. Even outside the single stuff, they're looking for what team is going to be the top. So if they have to fight them, they better get ready nice and early.
Yeah, no doubt. This is going to be such a pivotal stepping stone towards how they're going to progress into like making their way towards Capcom Cup as a unit, right? Because we talked about the champions of every division of like, not division per se, but every league, right? There's like Street Fighter League Japan, Street Fighter League EU, and Street Fighter League US, all having to play off against each other in the big dance-off in Capcom Cup 11, or sorry, Capcom Cup 12. And they made that so it happens on a Sunday, so that's going to be like the final event, and the winning team of that gets invited back into Capcom Cup. So that is a pretty significant deal, right? During that journey, when we get ourselves acclimated towards who's making it towards the playoffs, who makes it all the way to the grand finals, at least for Japan. We obviously have the big incentives for the awards. There's the grand finals MVP, division MVP, rookie of the year, drive gauge efficiency award, and the drive impact award. All of those awards do have a monetary value, right? Each award grants 50k yen each to the recipients.
That's quite a bit to be hit the drive impact. Again, shouts out to Vispo out here for the JP VTuber group. I don't know what their exact link is. We'll try to get that for y'all if you're looking for it, but they'll be doing the interviews for the winner of each match. So shouts out to them, and then all the other players that come through that also, or the people that supported. I know the other VTubers are also working with these players that are like supporting Street Fighter Japan and working with them to improve their gameplay, or like work for like other events on the side and stuff like that. It is so cool to see like the combination of people outside of Street Fighter coming into this and continuously being a part of Street Fighter in the ecosphere. Like, it is so super sick. You know, if you want to see those interviews, you can go over to their channel. But on top, oh, hold on now, we'll be posting that in the chat just a little bit later on. I'll get that for you in a second. But again, like, you can check it out once the win has happened for the winning team.
Yeah, so with that in mind, again, this is what you can expect in regards to getting all of the updates directly from Japan at Capcom_esports. You can follow along using that hashtag. I don't know how to spell it. Honestly, I actually find it from the Capcom_esports Japan side, right? I go there, I see the hashtag, and then I post it on some of the tweets I make in regards to anything related to Street Fighter League Japan. So something to keep in mind. It's a little bit cheating, but you know, it gets the job done.
Absolutely fine. You know, follow that for all the fan work, all the ups and downs that players are going through, and the fans too as well. Make sure y'all keep up with that. Now keep up with this upcoming match that's going to be pulling up. Crazy Raccoon versus Nagoya. NTPOJA is the very first match. I feel like every match is a marquee match. As you mentioned, I feel like everything out here has been an absolute banger. None of the matches have disappointed. And Crazy Raccoon having Bonchan, who's been trying to get a hold of the Sagat, Dogura with that Elena, Shuto on the Akuma, Kazunoko. All these players are super stacked out here in the super stacked team. Let's take a further look at our away side, Crazy Raccoon. See if they go crazy in these streets. First, we start with the judge, the jury, the executioner. It's Papa Bonchan out here with the Sagat and maybe the Akuma, but I've seen a lot more of what Sagat got out here from his CFN. After that, the one loved by all fighting games. He has no enemies. It's Kazunoko. Getting aerial with that Kami. After that, we have the Asura. Kiss the fist. Might go for the Marisa. Whether it be whatever character, doesn't matter. Is Shuto always dealing out the damage. And last but definitely not least, the man that made the deal with the devil and has the strategies to back it up, the devil strategist himself, Dogura. Crazy Raccoon, one of the most stacked teams you could ever ask for in characters, in pedigree, just coming out real strong out here in the first part of the season.
The fact that they're there in person is so sick. I'm actually so tight. Like, I want to be there to like see them and say what's up to all of them, especially Kazunoko. And also the home team coming up, right? Nagoya NTPOJA has actually made such a significant name for themselves since their inception into Street Fighter League, both as just a team and also as individuals, right? They're starting to gain that popularity, and they're honestly starting to come together actually these last couple of days. I know it's only been 2 days prior to this point, but Nagoya NTPOJA, they got it. Let's see if they can work it. Coming in now, the Daredevil bounty hunter. That's Mochi, one of the newcomers, not only just in the Street Fighter League, at least his second year in, but also into Street Fighter 6. The talent from Toyama, Otani, still rocking that can and making it work out for himself. He's the one that cuts it out. Last time we saw Division S, the Kung Fu Fanatic. It's Seiya coming in with the Chun-Li with his rookie season. All led under the guidance of the hammer. No one escapes the wrath of KB. So a lot of diversity when it comes to the skill levels with this team, but also the character selection, right? Just based off of day 2 of Division S, we had Seiya, Mochi, KB, Otani, Chun-Li, Akuma, Mai, and Ken.
Very good, very team. You know, right? As you mentioned, I think that Ken is still a very strong character in the meta. You know, he still has the access to the corner carry. His win condition is more accessible than other characters. He'll always be a threat. And I like that Otani hasn't really strayed away from that. I've seen him test at Terry, but you can see his heart is still with the Ken Master. However, we do have Crazy Raccoon on the away side. We're going to see what they pull up. And it's going to be Bonchan on the Sagat, Elena coming through with Dogura, and last, if they have it their way, will be Shuto. However, if it isn't their way, they got Kazunoko to back it up. Now, I've been on Bonchan's stream as per usual because I love watching me some Sagat. I asked him, hey man, what do you think about Sagat right now? Do you think he's strong? And he was just like, yeah, I think he's super strong in a sarcastic way. So that being said though, no matter what he feels about the character, what the character lacks and this and that, he's still gonna make the magic happen. You know, he's in chats with other Sagat players. He talks to Garen on the side and stuff like that. Still trying to find methods to acclimate his old style with this new form of Sagat. So I do like him coming up as the beginner. We said that he wanted to feel a little bit more in tune with the character, and now we get to see him. He wasn't too far out in beating Nemo last time, actually. So, yeah. Oh, KB coming up early? What? Okay. Did not expect that. I thought he was going to be Anchor. What do you think about this?
If he's playing, it depends on what character he's choosing, right? Okay, it's going to be my... This makes a lot of sense. So, one of the things that we don't get to see highlighted with Bonchan's strengths is the spacing aspect from Sagat via the low tiger shots, right? He still has full access to the standing tiger shots, but the low tiger shots are also very impactful, right? So the lack of that changes the dynamic of how Bonchan wants to play. The lack of Kara canceling specials is also one of like the big takeaways that limit Bonchan, right? Because he's so good at outpacing a lot of opponents, outspacing a lot of opponents by setting up with the fireballs first, seeing where they're at when their jump is initiated, then going in with like a tiger uppercut or even like a tiger knee to disrupt. That's off the table now. You have to play much more of a grounded approach with the limbs given, and the limbs that he has been given are rather lengthy and then can convert to pretty decent damage. So Bonchan has to really kind of like look within himself to adapt to the new style of Sagat that Capcom has created. So with that in mind, I do like his approach. I do admire the fact that he's still keeping this character pretty much on the fryer right now. He's going to make sure that it's going to be one of the main focuses. And also, it being against anybody on the away side, while he's on the away side and committing to this character is actually like something worth noting. Now, KB with Mai, like what else can we really say about Mai? I think Mai has a lot of decent control with the fireball game if it's charged. I think Sagat's going to be one of the few that give her a little bit of a problem because of how fast his tiger shots can be. Like it limits Mai from even getting the fan started. She's gonna have to use OD majority of the time, but it's up to Bonchan to respond accordingly. So we'll see if he has the matchup on lock right now, but I don't think Mai is gonna be too bad. I feel like for Sagat from further ranges, and also the fact that he does have access to an OD uppercut is gonna be able to like force Mai to rethink how much pressure she gets to apply off of a knockdown or even like in corner positioning.
I agree. I think like the objective is going to be like holding the middle ground, which Sagat could do very well. Stampede kick is really good. Crouch fierce is really good. That's where the fireballs come into play as like more of a poke than they are like an actual zoning tool in that range. And so like if you could keep her to like a mid-range roundabout, that's fine. So KB's objective on his side of things is like, can I build up level 1 so I can have some way to fight the fireballs with like a charge up fan? And if I get in at any point, or if I expend any sort of OD gauges you mentioned, from there, just kind of steamroll. Like that has to be the game plan for Mai as it is. For most characters, I would assume it's going to be like that from here. Watching him play against some of the Mai players, I saw him practice a little bit on his stream. And I saw some of the things that you could do, having that forward light kick, the step kick, to be able to like perfect parry one of the fans and then get that forward momentum to avoid the second part of the fan to land, like has been also a really good idea from him. So I've seen him develop against Mai. And also, there are some good Sagat players out there, but there's very few that have stuck with the character that are really like making it their main. There's Bonchan and Bulgara and not many else. So getting practice against a high-level Sagat player, I wonder if KP has gotten that. Maybe he had to talk to Bulgara on the side, hey man, help me out a little bit. We are getting the interview, soon out here. But I do like seeing people stick with the character because I know that Sagat isn't what he was before, but that doesn't mean that he's weak. Even speaking about Bulgara, talking to him on his stream, He said, I think Sagat can be A+ tier. He's like, I'm going to work with this character to make him up there. And I feel like the same thing with Elena. We saw the results with that character. It's not just so good to drop a character immediately because it's strong. And even in this game where every character feels like they're a threat, you see any character on the screen, especially this season, you're worried. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Lily, Marisa, we saw especially over at UFA, man, how Marisa player was the Korean wrestling man who beat Tokido. Just things like that. You got to be worried about every single character in this game. It's so balanced in that way.
It's so wild that like right after on the way over into top 16, it was Armper who took down Korean wrestling man. I'm like, dude, like it shows the difference between like player to player, right? Tokido fell short, but Armper has played like 1.5 million games against Korean wrestling man. Like he showed how it can be done. And it felt pretty like, it felt like a much easier task for Armper. But I was actually so sad that those two had to play to make it into like past top 16. No, from top 48 to top 16. I was actually really tight about that because they're both very talented in their region. But that's neither here nor there. There's a lot to talk about in regards to like how many of the Mai's kind of showed up also at UFA and how many of the players that have designated mains had switched off to Mai for certain matchups as well. It's tough to call. I mean, somebody in the chat was asking if Mai has any particularly bad matchups right now. Funny enough, I think Aki gives her a pretty hard time, at least in neutral. But when it comes to like falling for pressure against Mai, I think Aki kind of just drowns. But it's like, yeah, it's difficult to call because like there are two aspects that kind of go towards one character and then another aspect towards another, but I don't really know if Mai actually has a bad time, like a genuinely bad time against anybody per se. Like somebody said Cammy gives Mai a hard time, and I can kind of grasp that, but I haven't seen it via results yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not like a hard time. I've seen it like if we're looking at like a matchup at the end of the day, like maybe like a 5-5. Type beat, like I can see what she can do with the dive kicks to eliminate some of the normals, but it's just Mai's oppressive game plan is so, I won't say easy to access, but it's definitely easier to access than most of their characters, that it makes it kind of spotty to tell what matchups are good or bad for her. Like I think Akuma does well against her, but again, when I say well, I don't mean like, oh, Akuma beats her, so pick Akuma to beat Mai. I think it's more of, it's like, oh, he can fight her tools in the same aspect of her, but not beat her. So like, you know, Mai doesn't really have any natural enemies. I don't think she has any natural predators in the wild right now in Street Fighter 6 at the moment.
Yeah. That's why it's so difficult, right? Like Mai is definitely living a pretty sweet life here in the current meta of Street Fighter 6, but we'll see what happens. Maybe C Viper will be the savior. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe she'll be the one. And funny enough, when you look at like what C Viper's potential kit is, I know this is kind of like theory crafting now. I think Seismo is going to be a pretty big deal against any Fireball character, right? You get to act first. Like if I remember anything from Street Fighter 4, I think one of the more potent tools that she does have to stop anybody from like throwing out a Fireball is obviously being able to space out burn kicks and punish accordingly. Like if you could react and do like an instant air burn kick if she still has that. But being able to do Seismo, hit or block jump cancelable is a pretty big deal, right? So maybe there'll be a way to see that kind of change up. But either way, Sagat versus Mai, Bonchan versus KB, first game.
All right, start off with the perfect parry, take him towards the corner and make him hold his throw. And Bonchan said, hey man, offline's a very fun part of the game. I'll get my first win, and he likes this aspect. KP not so much, but he's working as intended. Perfect parry, the jump, and the ODT. That was so smart for KB to kind of retreat just a little bit, knowing that a throw might be coming through, and now puts the aggression on.
I like this ender. You do get a +4 Oki situation too, but he's just backing away. Oh, the snipe out! That could have been so much larger, actually.
More damage could have been tacked onto that. First round of KB, though.
I didn't realize they're playing online, offline. Somebody just mentioned that in the chat. I'm like, oh my god, that makes sense. I did not even realize that. Huh?
Because they have the challenge on the sides? Oh, you're so right.
That's wild. What a wild concept.
See me online, offline.
Yeah.
All right, Bonchan. Shouts out to Bonchan Obama.
That's pretty good. We get the target combo coming in from KB, thwarting out the potential overhead. Bonchan gonna be cashing out all the meter, all the damage. regaining more of the drive gauge. This is where he gets to kind of apply pressure, but as long as KB has OD uppercut, it's gonna be a threat, right? Oh, you can't throw a stand jab against the drive rush. Bonchan 100% ready for the stand roundhouse trade combo after that.
Sagat's a trade merchant. You gotta be worried about what he's gonna throw out right after. OD the pickup, yeah, drive rush back fierce. Gonna use that bar to take him towards the corner. You'd rather not, but this is fine. You're back in the green. You can kind of keep that mid-range. He's gonna get aggressive with the drive rush jabs. Ends it with the DP. Tick throw. Oh yeah, he's got the kill shot right now. Go for that perfect KO. The blocks. No back throw. Crouching medium punch instead.
Yeah, I like that too. Bonchan does get the interruption. He was anticipating maybe a back throw. One more shot. Actually can take down KB for that. No block on the overhead. This could be a big sign. If he manages to land a splat here, now it's over. Uh-oh. You can't do that.
Oh, you're so smart. The level 1. You can't do that either. You can't do any of that. Too many fans about to land, brother. You can't do any of that. First, the level 2 to cut through the wake up level 1. He knew that was coming through. And then the OD fans to make sure level 1 don't do a dang thing.
That was probably the best dump out of meter I've ever seen. Did you see how much life was just shredded against Bonchan? KB, you might high-key be a genius.
Like, sometimes you watch on my play, you're like, okay, they're just doing the usual typical stuff. KB got some sauce behind him. Shredded, talking about BBQ right now. This man is cooking. Game up right now on Bonchan. Oh, he took his turn.
That's actually so wild that happened. Like, this is the amount of life Bonchan had, by the way, before he died. Right now?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh. OD does get blocked successfully. Now we get the level 1. Charge up those fans. Get to throw it from this distance. Now you get to bully your way back in. Forward throw. Do it one more time. It's OD. And he gets the bait against Bonchan. This matchup is looking way too tough and not well rehearsed from the side of Bonchan.
It's hard because like KB's throwing so many different angles. Like you saw that light kick just kind of maybe bait out like a level 2 because obviously that's like going to go through the projectile. Didn't invite it, but it's still fine. Like you see that it's really well rehearsed, by KB. Don't have too many buttons though, Bonchan. Look at that stand medium drive rush in the fan. The low right after. Access point below. KB with so many different options, so many different looks with this character.
He's finding all of them right now. Whether it's an overhead, whether it's weaving through the fans for a high-low mix-up, or even a throw, forcing Bonchan to make these airs. KB looks to be pretty damn sharp. However, this is a big contention point, right? Bonchan was slowly pushing KB back. It's up to KB to kind of retain his space. Medium kicks are going to be the big answers, and which he does find. Low medium kick, that route into level 1. A little bit problematic. Does have charged fans? Not charged fans, enhanced fans, excuse me.
Perfect parry, got the punish right after. Some distance, throw these tiger shots from around the block. Yeah, the fast ones. Stand fierce, wasn't able to get too much off that counter hit. Stand blocks in time. I with the counter hit combo though. That level 2, man, I'm so afraid of it.
Take that cross cut. Bonchan might also be afraid of it as well. But his burnout is everything. Down below! Hella damage incoming. Here comes my level 2 to finish it out. An easy 4, what is it? Almost 4 rounds, actually. But yeah, either way, 2 games going to KB.
You may fight Mize, but y'all don't know KB's mind. That man is different with this character. The fact that he did the fan pressure with the crouching light kick with the drive rush right after, things like that, small things like that, and then of course that level 2 gets the super, which is way more important than anything I'm talking about. Having that matchup knowledge and be able to execute that in a different sort of way than I've ever seen a my player do, this is a different sort of mind. You may have practiced against other my players, but not KB's mind. This is a different sort of heat, man. Wow, this is...
Damn. And then the OD version, so it just makes it so smart, right? Like, OD version, no matter what, is going to be doing so much chip. And I think he had what? Like, did he have any more drive gauge after that? I actually blinked. If he did, he gets to apply more chip damage. If he didn't, guess what? The level 1 from Bonchan was still going to get nullified. pretty damn smart, man.
That's a real my guy right there. Not just fly by night. He knows how to utilize that character. And that's 10 points. Nagoya, NTPOJA, Bonchan, unfortunately not getting anything for his team. It's Dogura that comes up next. This is the guy that got second over at the very first World Warrior with Elena. I don't know if it was only Elena. And I know that he did kind of test out Bison on his stream a little bit recently. But going with Elena, I think this is kind of the main pick nowadays. I think this is the main and Bison the secondary who comes up.
Possibly. Dogura's Elena, I want to say like, I was going to say any of the Shutos really, but Otani is going to be the one to step up against Dogura's Elena. I actually want to check back. Is there? Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Otani had to fight off against another Elena, and that was Sakunoko, right? In day 2, he came up for the extra match and took down Sakunoko 2-0 pretty convincingly, but it's going to be in the hands of a different player, right? Dogura actually had a very, very phenomenal play in the most previous, I think it's World Warrior number 2, question mark? Making it into top 8, right? With Elena, actually got second against Goichi. That was number 1? Okay, my mistake. World Warrior number 1 against Goichi.
I mean, the fact that they have a little bit on the later side, it's kind of hard to know. But like the fact that he got second over the biggest World Warrior with the most stacked region with this character shows that he's gotten Elena. He has worked this character out. Similar to what we were saying previously, don't just drop a DLC because you think they're weak off the rip. They can still make the magic happen. And Dogura even just getting to a top position over Japan with this character is something significant. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do. He has that sort of psychic style that we talk about where he just knows what you're going to press before you press it. If he's got the hit confirms, he's able to counter poke you, I think that makes a match made in heaven with Elena. So it makes sense to see him run this character. And I want to see how he does against Otani, because Otani obviously took down Sako. But as you mentioned, this is a way different sort of Elena, way different sort of playstyle. Risk reward going to be way different too as well. Comfortability going to be way different. You don't have to, juggle 2 characters. Like, I really just see more Elena than Bison, so I think he's more on this character. So he's spending more time than maybe Sako's spending 50-50 with Aki. So I'm curious to see what Otani's adjustment is going to have to be against Dogura.
I think for Dogura specifically, it's just if he enjoys a character and their playstyle, he'll just play the heck out of them. I don't think it's really dependent on like their current status in the tier level. I do have the luxury of being able to talk to Dogura a lot more often, like outside of even just gaming in general, right? Like his whole philosophy in gaming is as long as he's having fun and can kind of like play the way he wants to play with the character, and it doesn't even just apply to fighting games. He'll go with it, right? So you see him play like a bunch of other games on stream as well. Like when it comes to like tac shooters or like FPSs, he'll have like certain loadouts because he wants to play a certain way. So, or at least certain characters too for certain tac shooters. But yeah, man, his whole philosophy is just to play characters that give him the most value in terms of like the fun factor.
I like that. If you enjoy a character, that's going to take you farther than just like picking whatever's like top tier out here. Like, yeah, people are picking Mai or Akuma or whatever, but if they're not enjoying the character, they're not going to be able to make a journey with the character happen. Like, it's just not going to be engaging for them. It's going to feel like it's routine at business, at work, and your mind's just going to kind of autopilot a little bit too much too often, and then you just can't work from there. Some people are just tailor-made to play whatever's enjoyable, and sometimes that character isn't the most meta character, most strong character at the highest of the list, but that still makes him a better person than I'll pick whatever's strong and try to work from there. Like, that just doesn't happen, especially at high level. So I like that he's just that type of dude, just doing something that he finds fun and enjoyment. Same with Otani. I mean, we can say that for him too as well. Sticking with Ken, where other people have went to Terry in full, have went to Mai, have went elsewhere, and still kicking with a character that is still obviously strong. Like, he's still a great Shuto. Me and Dr. African were talking about this. We were like, if you're the quote-unquote weakest Shuto, you're still a billionaire. It's like, oh man, I'm down a couple billion compared to this cat right here. You're still rich, and you're rich in terms of your corner carry, your win condition, easily accessible. You don't do as much damage as you used to, or a drive chip, but that's okay. It's not so horrible that you can't operate in Street Fighter 6 at all.
I agree with that. Yeah, there's just such a huge misconception of being the weakest of a certain archetype, right? Like, if they are kings of the world, guess what? Yeah, you're still a king. Just kind of like reiterate what you were saying, right? Like, that's the biggest gripe that I have kind of come to terms with a bunch. Like, no matter what you do or what you see, when you see Keon on the screen, majority of the time, he's busting ass, right? He's going to be giving people a hard time. Like, his overall kit just is designed for pressure. Right? Pressure, damage. So honestly, no matter what the talk is going to be like, I still think Ken, so long as he's fighting against other characters, is still going to be a threat, right? Ken versus like Ryu, Ken versus Akuma, even so, I still think he has certain like niche approaches that could help him in that matchup, right? It's not going to necessarily be like the best approach, but it's still going to be like pretty significantly different approaches.
Yeah, I mean, like, even this matchup compared to other Shotos and Elena, like just looking at what Pax has said and the few matches I've been able to catch in this in particular, he can't really throw out fireballs because her anti-fireball play is even better. However, his corner carry is going to be significant compared to what Akuma and Ryu can present. And his right versus jabs can be a lot faster. That's going to be more range to be able to cover. So he maybe can't play the footsie game like on paper without drive rush, but with the green slime, oh yeah, he's getting in. He'll be able to take care of some of her buttons if she kind of whips a little bit too airlessly, you know. So things like that are still going to be a part of the matchup and allow him to be competitive and still part of it. We are going to get the interviews, and we are getting the offline interviews, by the way, as well. It's just good to see them in person and not through webcam, by the way. So I hope we get this a little bit more often. I hope this happens more consistently. I don't know how much it takes for this to happen, but it is super sick to see them. Also with the red glare, which is kind of cool because it kind of suits their theme as Crazy Raccoon. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but that's godlike. That's actually super sick.
We'll say it's on purpose. We'll say it's on purpose.
Okay.
Sure. We can definitely agree to that. Yeah, what's funny enough, this is a little side note. I think Ken's fireball is better than Ryu's. OD fireball, keeping somebody standing for a continuation of a combo is actually a pretty damn good deal.
Yeah.
Personally, as much as I like Denjin fireball from Ryu and how fast it is, I think its only real purpose is to have yourself a cannon for level 1. But like, low-key, Ken's OD fireball sets up for so many traps more often than not, right? Like, it's great to have like a spacing trap if they decide to jump it because you recover in time for a drive rush forward. It nullifies other fireballs if it's just a regular one, and if they get hit by it, you could confirm it from full screen, right? So, yeah, I think Ken's fireball game is a little bit deadlier, in my opinion.
Because you have the approach right after. And that may help in this matchup, because you get that OD fireball in the follow-up that you were mentioning against like one of her normals and things like that. You get a little bit more reward than just one throwing out fireballs to kind of outpace you, get a little bit of a lead, and she still may be able to link swirl on in there at the proper ranges if they're done wrong. So like the reward I see in terms of getting the corner carry or access to the buttons, I can see that, I can see that. Dogura right now, he's talking. He said, oh, sorry, my bad, I was muted. He said, also, I've had a lot of people saying things about Impact to me recently, but I'll do my best, I'll do my best. So is he talking about the fact that he's been drive impacted or that he is susceptible to drive impact? They've been talking on the streets that he's been impacted too often?
I think they're saying he's old. I'm gonna be honest. I think his team is ragging on him for being old.
Aren't they as old as him? Aren't they in the same age bracket?
Probably, most likely. But yeah, I mean, like, I think it's the entirety of Japan talking about how there's a correlation between age and successful drive impacts.
Ah, yeah. That happened at the World Warrior. All right, here we go. Crouch, fierce, of course, take him towards the corner. Get that nice and meaty. She has so many meaty combinations, so many good like setups after killing frames to get more damage access. That's why you don't want to be up in the corner a different sort of way versus her.
Oh, we do have an interview coming in too from Otani. He says, I get really nervous offline. Damn, son. And he says, I haven't played with Dogura in a while and I want to press the impact button, but not sure if he's able to counter it. I can't tell what to do.
He's gonna do it. That's a setup. I know what that is.
Damn, son. Dogura is just running Otani over right now.
The proper spacing for stand light kicks. Uh-oh, he's ducking. So with this damage and the enhanced Tatsu towards the corner. The toss right after. So where Ken can really thrive in his own sort of way to mix us off the Jinrai. But we perfect during the second interaction. We're on out of there.
Dude, the corner carry is so much. He started that combo off of a perfect parry in the corner, by the way.
Clear mid-screen. Uh-oh, counter it on the roll. Side switch, level 1. No, triple Jinrai just to ensure the victory comes through. So has the bar in his pocket, not too bad. Otani evening things out.
On the other side, Dogura locked and loaded with 3. Attempted the parry. We do get the mind games early. Otani enforcing that Jinrai pressure and also the throws on top of that. That's the 3rd one. Could go for a 4th if need be, and that's going to be the level 2 getting parried. We get the optimal punish counter coming on in. Look at the amount of damage and only 1 OD spent. 4th throw yet again. Another one will kill.
More shimmy, there it is. The crouching me to kick into OD fireball to find the finish. Yo, Jinrai still absolutely insane. You saw that as a bait, also as a damage dealer. In the corner, we all died at Jinrai. Otani, first game, bringing it back from the brink. Application of the fireball, we see kind of as a stopping point, not so often as a poke, but knows when to apply. Otani's very smart in this matchup so far.
A little bit of an awkward exchange, right? That roundhouse Dragon Lash just catching Dogura, even while blocking, still applies pressure for Ken.
Oh, nice interruption, gets the drive rush. Her light buttons are so good about stopping, almost the rims to the Manon, and yo, the carry once again towards the corner. Across the DP, that was gonna be a throw. Caught him whiffing, grabbing nothing but his demons.
Oh. Swinging with the low forward, now with the roundhouse. Does get an interruption. This is huge. We get the Rhino Horn, Scratch Wheel. Throw's not going to be enough. Backs away, tries to get a bait. A little bit of a trade-off, though. Dogura needs to finish his plate. Does so successfully. Finds a way to stop Otani from any Jinrai shenanigans. And I like that, too.
Very smart stuff. We saw him ducking a little bit. He knew he was going to go for the go right kick. He interrupted it perfectly. It's a drive rush. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's hella meaty right there. No DI necessary. No. Y'all was talking too much mess about me. I'll show you what I can do against DI. Add an E on it. It's time for Otani to die. One more interaction, go for the super. Wait, hold on now. I forgot she does a lot. Pardon me and my mistake. That's a perfect KO. It's over.
I love the way she just claps right in the beginning, the little pop off before she gets into the dance. Yeah, so that was rather impressive, right? He went for the Link song mix right afterwards. Otani mashing away with drive impact, gets blown up for it. So I think it was a well-placed bait from Dogura.
So y'all ain't gonna talk about me in the streets. All right, nice little leg lock with the throw. Drive rush throw once again, double it down with it. She has to drive rush to keep the throw pressure. Able to walk back though, get the shimmy off. Scratch wheel, frame kill, another throw. One more touch. Whatever he wants. Play about with the leg drop. We switch positions. You're in the corner now.
OD scratch wheel for the call out at the point where it's like hard to tell if they would do it, right? Like he had a lot of life to him too.
Said, I know you know, type beat.
Yeah. That's where the mind game settles in too often.
Trying to reset with a plus frames, did not work out. ODTP, another bust out. And again, like, why would you do that? You're close to burnout. But that's why it worked out. It's backing up to try to regain some of that drive gauge. Being too far out in the distance. The toe tap is minus but hard to punish at that range.
Oh. Did you get the rest of the continuation? Sorry, off of the target combo. Being that far away as well. I love the way it looks, dude. All of our target combos are so sick.
Good reward too. Bulky, damage shoe as well. Ah, he's not lacking. Takes a trade. Bar at the bottom. This interaction with level 3 behind it. Not even necessary. Will kill. Perfect parry and the punish right after. My favorite book. I read it every night. And it's good night for Otani. Blue lock, no, it's green lock out here. Dogura takes it over Otani 2-1.
Damn. It looked kind of even. It really did. But Elena, from Dogura, looking kind of different.
Chris, salad bar, Chris. That man is. It's not even just the corner pressure. It's just his dumping of damage, his optimization with the character, like to a point where we know that she can deal the damage. She can crouch fears. Her carry and her damage, even meterless, is really good. Her access is kind of hard to get there. But again, he finds a way. He's good with hit confirming, understanding when you are standing up. Like he only missed, I feel like only one scenario where he was where Otani was ducking, excuse me, and Dogura missed. But after that, it was all hit confirms all damn day. So the overhead also working out for him. And once again, this man knows how to stay optimal and deal as much damage as possible. Dogura with this character is something significant, man. And ready for any approach to perfect pair of the Dragon Lash. I wonder if that's like a matter of like nerves, like Otani, like I gotta do something to get something going. And Dogura's just like, this is too obvious. I'm a perfect parry it, take my punish. But Dogura, he's been never nervous for offline. At least he's been melded in it for years after years on multiple games.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I think there's definitely a situation where Otani is just not sure on how to approach. I think Chad had said it, you had said it best too. That was pretty evident to the point where he actually tried to take mad risks with something that is like, I want to say like kind of telegraphed, right? You see the startup of a Dragon Lash, you kind of know the timing or awareness of it. So I think it was more so Otani's own undoing, which led to his defeat, right? But Mochi coming in now. That's got to be the Akuma mirror match, if I'm not mistaken. Mochi rocking back-to-back days these last couple of days. Mochi was actually playing day one as the extra man out. In day two, however, he was second up, but he hasn't had the kind of success that the OJA camp has been looking for. And this is going to be a tough call. I'm actually quite surprised Mochi is going in for the mirror match when Shuto has all the practice in the world against Bonchan, right?
Yeah, or just rematches in general. And Shuto also in this position is such a, I think he gets powered up. He gets like a Zenkai boost. I feel like when you put him in the anchor position, it makes him stronger. He starts talking more mess. Like there's something about him, like the way the team on him, or at least a further way of the team on him, that just empowers him. And he's been doing well. Like the last time he was in anchor match, he cleaned up. Now Shuto, I'm just surprised to see Mochi go up. You know, I feel like maybe even though the matchup isn't as good, Seiya might be a better pick to go up against Shuto. Mochi, I feel like he's getting to the point where he's like acclimated to the streets and understanding this game. Like he is obviously there, but this is a lot of weight to put on somebody where your team is down. They have to rely upon you to reset and get an extra match, or not even reset, but at least get an extra match, more points on the board, have a chance for that last extra one. That is a lot to put on somebody's back. And again, someone like Shuto who thrives in it, like that is the opposite. So we'll see, maybe Mochi's in tune with this or knows something about Shuto's methodology that he can defeat. I'm not sure.
Oh, I love these new graphics coming in on the lower third with Shuto and some of the information like his biggest accolade, like Capcom Cup 11. And then also, do they put his age on there? Because that definitely said 1998. Damn, you're gonna expose his birthday? Is it because of how big of a topic Drive Impact was? Is that why now they're listing birthdays? They're like, all right, guys. This is what you can or cannot expect with these Drive Impacts. Right, we're trying to tally up some of these awards early. 1988, my man is a whole 10 years older than Shuto.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow, he is a year younger than me. That is crazy. Been out playing a lot of fighting games longer than most people haven't even thought about it. But we are getting some of the interviews. Mochi says Shuto's strength. He's like admiring Shuto's strength, I believe, and talking about the practice that he does. And if you watch the CFP, he has been practicing quite a bit. Even before League, when Street Fighter 6 did start, like he was in the background practicing this game. And once he moved from his original game to this one, he started to be a little bit more informed. Even like recently when we see him play, like he looks more confident than what he did last season. I'm just still surprised to see him go up against someone like Shuto, even though he recognizes how good this dude can be. When Shuto was the one that developed Akuma and made him stronger in people's mind. People knew that Akuma was strong, but when Demon Ray got developed because of Shuto, you started to see the strength of this character emboldened, where they had to pull back on the Demon Ray stuff and the Oki that he gets and things like that, all because Shuto was like, this is how we do it out here. Mochi says something fun just recently happened. He got to know Seiya more. So he just is like, you know, by the way, I got to know Seiya a little bit more out here. You know, Street Fighter League, make more friends out here. Yeah, that's cool.
That's sweet. That's a cool little fun fact. I like that. You know, I think it's pretty important getting to know your teammates a little bit more, right? Like being able to like also understand where they're coming from in regards to like how they play is a pretty significant deal. It really does open up the type of training you get with said players too. And I think it's really neat because this is Seiya's very first Street Fighter League, right? He's like one of the rookies, one of the few rookies that have made it out into the league this year. So it's cool to see some of like the older players, some of the more seasoned veterans come in, and it's cool that it's specifically Mochi because he was the newcomer last year. Right, so he's kind of like stepping up and being that mentor now.
What the Shuto said. He went to Seiya and said, "Leave Shuto to me. Leave Shuto to me." And I misspoke earlier. My bad. It's 10-10. So this is the last match. So there's even more weight on Mochi. But you know, as you mentioned, he's a veteran. You know, he's been seasoned out here in these streets. He does look better than what he did last season. And you have to have that confidence with Akuma. I mean, even if you are fighting Akuma, like the character will explode. That 9K really matters in the matchup, the mirror match, but even more so, like, you have to be confident in your decisions, you have to be confident in your defense. That's why we've seen some of the best Akuma players get better and better and be able to work out in the first of two. When people said that it was volatile for Akuma in first of two, you see the best Akuma players figure out how to make the defensive decisions happen. Kawano, Shuto, Bonchan. You know, you have to have that confidence with this character even more so, and have to be like, if I have a bad round, I have a bad round. That's just how it is with Akuma. It's going to happen in any game and be okay with it. So
that's true.
I would like to see Shuto and Mochi. I like this go to the wire. I hope it does. It's a very hard fought battle, but maybe there's something that Mochi knows or is approaching the game with that is going to be able to take down Shuto. Like, you know, Shuto does have his weaknesses. I think his aerial game is the best in terms of like the Demon Raid, but his ground game and his defense isn't as strong as like someone like Kawano or Bonchan. Doesn't mean that he's stronger or weaker. It's just he specializes in one area over the other.
We are getting the in-person interview coming in from Shuto. Can you believe that they had to do a lag check at the venue?
Like, aren't y'all there? Like, you know what? Gotta make sure everything's right, proper for the last match. I get it. You want to make sure.
Here's what I'm thinking, right? Before we get into the interviews, here's what I'm thinking. Why not just have the head-to-head on the same station and have a hear me out and have a streaming PC capture that footage? I may sound crazy, but I'm just spitballing here. Why not just have
10, 20 years?
Truly offline. I don't know if this has been done before in the CPT. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm not too sure, but it's an idea. Okay. I don't know.
You know what? Hey man, people not listening right now, but in 10 to 20 years, you're gonna be a genius, all right? He was like, man, he was spitting back then.
He was so right.
He was so right.
I'm about to get kicked out of this Japanese apartment. I'll tell you what right now. There's definitely gonna be one of the neighbors like, who's speaking English upstairs right now?
What's going on?
Yeah. He's laughing like an idiot.
Oh, well, for good reason. Shuto, he's got his interview up. Crazy Raccoon is a really strong team, and I am proud that I was able to go at the anchor spot in 2 away games in a row. I've never lost a same character game, so I'll definitely win. He said, I've never lost a mirror match. I might have to check on that, Shuto. We might have to talk about this one a little later on, Brody, because I don't know about that. What happened when you fought Kawano? I feel like you might have ran into Kawano at some point.
He's definitely lost to Kawano.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You're so real.
Yeah, and that was on broadcast. You can't run from that. Like,
got the receipts.
You know, I like the confidence, brother. You know, maybe he's talking about this season. I don't know.
Okay. Well, just start it. See how it happens now. Mochi with the better start. Target combo, take it towards the corner.
Oh. Yeah, Mochi's pacing is actually so so patient. It's so much more of a problem right now against Shuto.
He's able to like walk and block. Wow, forward fierce to confirm. He's on fire. Try to play a turn right after that. I think that was one of the problems that we mentioned previously, is that he tries to steal turns quite a bit, and they were ready, but not this time. One more touch. The toss. Mochi with a very strong start. Wow. The fact that he's so confidently walking up to a character that has a good crouching medium kick, great button, someone that's going to be able to be reactive like Shuto.
Oh, double drive rush towards each other. Shuto getting the better half of that. Okay. That was an excellent confirm too. He gets the wall splat. Fierce. Adamant fist. Safe jump. Damn, Shuto is actually getting mopped a little bit. Level 1 for the breakout. It was either that or OD uppercut.
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. Oh. Mochi, hold on. Is it the online offline tech? Is Mochi more accustomed to this setup than Shuto is?
So this is different. This ain't no about online offline. You've been playing offline online. You know about that offline online. Mochi, the way he is playing is like Shuto is a gold player right now. Walking up, blocking. The way that he is interacting with another character you know you'll die to. And some of these weird defensive decisions, I know that Shuto, we talked about his defensive decisions not being always on form and kind of making some wild ones. But to make those reads so consistently, that takes a high level player. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm throwing out ODPPs too much, or I'm like taking my turn when I shouldn't. It's a matter of taking advantage of those moments. So continuously, Mochi has been studying Shuto, and I wonder if it's a matter of like, Shuto's such a strong player, and he's like, I've been watching this guy for so long. I've been understanding his game plan and taking pieces that I've just inherently understood what he does and doesn't like. I've understood his DNA to an absolute T, and I wonder if that's a part of why this is happening. And also Shuto just, you're getting cleaned up on wake up, bro. I don't know what he's not doing. He's not blocking. He's just not blocking.
I'm surprised you get gold. I thought you would at least say like diamond 5. Gold's hard, man.
Yeah, maybe
not like
nicer.
I don't mean gold is difficult. I mean that's like a rough judgment to put him in gold. That's what I'm saying.
All right, maybe I'll put him in diamond. I'll put him in diamond. But the way Mochi played on him though, walk up block. I rarely see players in a situation against Akuma walk up. Even you got the walk speed, I get it. Walk up block on Akuma. That is. Maybe it's a holdover from a different game, but to do that to me is like way too confident in a good way for him, for Mochi.
That's kind of rough. My man Mochi was just playing with his hair. He was just ready. I don't know, like he was just like, no, he wasn't even doing that. He was just like grabbing strands from the back and he's just like pulling on it. I'm like, damn, bro, stop flexing.
So wait, I got a white one right here. Let me pluck this out. All right, you get DI'd.
Oh. Okay. Damn, what an exchange too. I'm waiting for the big exchange. There we go. Shuto on his way to greatness now. Decent amount of damage. We do get the forward throw. Now to apply pressure off a drive rush. Mochi successfully calling it out with an OD uppercut, alleviating that pressure. Trying to push back with the fireballs.
Breaks the throw right after. Shuto got the distance with the OD fireballs, playing a little bit more grounded game. A little bit slower of a pace, not whipping as many buttons as per usual, at least in the last game. The DI, you're dead. No canceling that stand fierce level 1, but that's hard. He already committed. Okay, this is better Shuto. You level up. Uh-oh.
Ooh, very early stand jab right after the drive rush, catching a counter hit against Shuto. Now we get a punish counter. Mochi has been on point with a lot of these punish counters too. Shuto has been getting outspaced majority of these rounds, and this is definitely one of those rounds.
Dang, perfect.
Dear God! Is this the same Mochi? Hold up.
I think it is. That's the champion right there. Start off strong though with the crouching unit kick. Tatsu, of course, taking towards the corner, delay the flip out, ready with it, steady with it. Tatsu level 3, give me your drive gauge as you slip this calamity. A lot of count.
What a jump.
Bow.
What a call against the string too. Mochi's playing something different. Hold on. Oh, no way. No way he wasted that. Mochi actually landed on the way down without pressing a button, hence why he didn't get punished upon landing. Mad smart, and another excellent read from Mochi. This guy has been calculating all the risks and making it in his favor. That jump out could have been heavily punished, but he knew at that shallow angle, he's like, you know what? If I land and I try to hit an attack button, he's out of the way, I'm smoked. Good call. 2 games straight for Mochi. Damn.
Beautiful trade right after, too. Look at this, man. He is ready for every scenario. The strings that he is doing, the template of his normals, the I'm gonna do this after this, it is all in his hands right now. Backdash, wasn't able to get the jab right after though. Checks him on the way in, another, not even a perfect, but you know what, I'll give it to him. It might as well have been set point Mochi.
Dude, no way.
Perfect parry punish. You gotta be kidding me.
Yo, Mochi is on fire. He's actually nasty, dude. He's out here taking all the people's lunch money, all of their jewelry. He's robbing everybody, and he's getting his own W his way.
With the stoppage, so with a stand light kick. Nice little toss. Take him towards the corner. The fireball pressure is kind of problematic. The adamant fist to catch him. The counterplay to the counterplay. Level 3. Not gonna feel guilty about this. Sip this calamity. Mochi. 3-0 Shuto. I'm sorry, player. I didn't know your game was like this. My mistake.
Nobody.
I take all my words back, and so should you, Shuto. Dang.
He asked for it. This is a prime example of, you know, taking it a little bit too far. There was a sprinkle of lies in there. My man said, I've never lost the same character game. And Mochi was like, I don't know about that, Playboy. Let me check the Carfax on that before I buy into it.
Damn. The counterplay to the counterplay at the very end, using that adamant fist right after. You thought it was going to be a button or something. I'm going to lurch my hurt box back to catch you from pressing something right after. The perfect parry, driver scratching, you kick. This guy is so sick. I'm so happy to see him do well after, you know, having, I did not think he was going to win at all. I thought it was going to be a 3-0 the other way, if I'm going to be so real. Shuto's played that matchup so much, but man, he just is so good. Oh.
He's playing something different, man. I think his perspective has changed in regards to how he's approaching Street Fighter. I mean, we've had people talk about his last performance at World Warrior and how much of a better job he had done. This right here. So what's really unfortunate about that, either way, Shuto, he tried to get uppercut into level 3, right? He tried to get cross-cut into level 3, but the fact that it came on the fireball made it far worse because you have a significantly longer startup in comparison to like your whatever frame DP, right? So that actually sucks. That felt really bad for Shuto.
But really good for that defense and really good for Nagoya NTPOJA. Walking in, I did not think it was going to be in their favor. The matchups look good. Dogura's Elena look good, which is still look good out here. Obviously, they got the 10 points on that side of things. But Nagoya NTPOJA really coalescing as a team. And now it feels like they don't really have any weak links. You know, Mochi was kind of the thing I was wondering, how far is he going to go with this team? How much can he do for the team after what he didn't do last season? Obviously, he's going to be better, but this much better in a mirror match where this cat plays this continuously, you got Akuma on your team. On your team, and you still, after talking that mess, Shuto.
Yeah, you got nothing, right?
That was a godlike match.
You got no leg to stand on after that. Like you're definitely gonna be stuck in the seat for a minute, right? You're definitely gonna be cat dadding your way out of the venue, I think. Man, Shuto falling away from the grace of Akuma gods, right? Or Akuma god status. That is insane. I love the current development of Mochi. I love the path that he's taking right now as being one of the Akuma gods, and you know what? I'm all for that. I'm ready for the Mochi arc, right? Send him to the Infinity Castle.
Hell yeah, get him up there. Also, on top of this, it's a good showing of defense. You know, I feel like, you know, even in mirror matches, people kind of downplay the defensive tactics that happen in this game because offense is so strong. But you saw a perfect parry, you saw a counterplay to the counterplay after the perfect parries. You saw the punishes properly done. You know, not every character has a drive rush at that distance or speed or low forward like Akuma. But if you got it, you better use it. And like, you see it right there in the mirror match in the defensive tactics to hold back in certain scenarios, to string certain things up. If I go for a stand medium here, I'm gonna go for this button right here because if I get my counter hit, I'm gonna get more damage off of it. These strings, these templates of buttons that Mochi's doing doing. He's a real Street Fighter player, man. He done been real, but this is a real deal right here. So Mochi, big ups to you. I'm definitely looking at your Akuma even more so because your defensive habits and your call-outs and what people want to do on defense to make someone like Shuto stress like that is just next level.
Yeah,
wow.
That is a huge bounce back, right? Like you think about how his performance was these last couple of days. He hasn't really had like a single W, right? He had like maybe one total between days 1 and 2. Let me be specific, right? Like Mochi had a W at the very end of the second match of day 1 as the extra match against Takagi, and Takagi had a very explosive match. Not to take it away from Mochi, but yeah, I mean Takagi had an amazing Blanca match, very last second, very emotional. But no, seeing Mochi get a 3-0 bounce back against one of the more feared players, not just in the league, but in CPT. That is phenomenal. And you can see it too, like Seiya had actually talked about it. Mochi found Shuto's weaknesses during practice, and he did everything that he could. It's great that he won. That's exactly what Seiya said during the interview. So I wonder what he did to kind of like isolate those weaknesses.
The fact that he pulled it out and punished him properly. 3 games. Kind of crazy. KB says, I was out of my mind during the interview, but the practice let me play like usual. And we saw it, being able to do level 2. We also got to give big ups to KB because his match was insane too as well. His character knowledge and anti-character knowledge was off the charts. Level 2 against a wake up level 1, knowing that Bonchan as a player was going to wake up with that option and then hit him with the OD fans to prevent the second one from coming through is just, again, that's the stuff I want to see in terms of like an evolution of play. I don't care what character it is. How do you shut down somebody's tools? How do you stop them from interacting or playing the game? And there are really unique ways that you see that KP has been able to develop. We even saw last time that KP came on the scene with the Mai, he would do like drive rush underneath the side switch instead of going for like a DP. Things like that show that he's like really about developing the character and not just like, oh, I'm throwing out OD fans. Oh, I won the game now. He's trying to actually push the envelope with the character. Otani says, Dogura was strong and I unfortunately lost, but our team led us to win. I really thank my team. And honestly, I want to go back to what you were saying real quick. You said OD Fireball was a strong thing from Ken. We didn't really see much of that at all. And I feel like that could have been a tide turner. If you need something safer, throw an OD Fireball every so often and drive rush right after it. I know that seems so simple, but you have all the structuring of the other buttons. Throw that out too instead of something as risky as the Dragon Lash, for example. But, woulda, coulda, shoulda, maybe Dogura would have acclimated, so who knows?
Yeah, that is kind of tough. I mean, it's if it doesn't work out, it doesn't really push the opponent back. Like, I see where, like, the pros and cons of each one are. It's hard to justify spending that much meter against somebody who's just always ready, right? So, and that was Dogura that day, right? Dogura was ready for, like, almost every instance that Otani shot at him. Even after, like, the Jinrai was exposing Dogura in game 1, he immediately adapted to it afterwards, right? Like, forcing Otani in, like, awkward spaces to try to throw that out and also get ready for the whiff punish. So, it's tough. I think it's honestly very tough to call out what Otani should have done to clean it up.
Yeah. Mochi says, versus Akuma, I was pretty comfortable with the matchup, and when today was the start of everything for us. Really, it's a start for you, Brody, because honestly, God dang, that is insane. Even if it was like 3-2 or whatever, like that'd be great, but the fact that it was 3-0 against somebody that's practiced it really showed your preparation, like, deserves to be out here in the league. KB says it was a different environment today, online, offline, but I guess it made for a good pressure for us. We really appreciate the fans for coming to the event today. So they had the backing of the fans and bullying them. And Mochi had said that previously in his first interview. And boy, do those results show. 30-10.
There goes my first prediction. I'll tell you what.
Me too.
Crazy Raccoon has been so high profile, and like I'm thinking about numbers, right? Nagoya NTPOJA hasn't necessarily had the start that they wanted, right? This is exactly why Mochi had said this win is everything. It's the start of everything for us, right? I will say though, like looking at the overall points, they're not doing too bad. They did beat Favu Gaming in day 2, so they have 50 points. So maybe I'm tripping. In total right now, they're at 80. So they're easily within the combines of top 3.
Ooh-wee. That goal chase today, which it may or may not, but the fact of the matter is, this is a huge win against a top-tier team that had reached the playoffs, a team that has so many story players. You have a collection of people from different games that are getting ready for League, that are new to League. For them to come out here and get this win is a very significant shot. And again, shows to y'all that Street Fighter League is hard to call. My prediction was also Crazy Raccoon to take it, put it in the trash, out the window. But I like that about League. I like that players are, no matter who they are or what they're playing or whatever, you just can't tell if they're going to take it or not.
They were tied in points, by the way, coming into day number 3, right? They both had 50 points to their names, so it was really, really hard to call. But what isn't a hard call is seeing how Japan has trusted Galleria to be their PC sponsor for so many of their events, and guess what? They're also a primary event sponsor for Street Fighter League Japan. I definitely want to check out these guys, and I think I had seen them like a couple of advertisements on my way through like the subway stations here and there, but I want to know where their home base is, at least within Tokyo, like where they're able to sell it and actually, you know, peep game and see what their builds are all about.
I'd like to test them out too, because I'm definitely in the market for a new tower. If they have one in the stateside, maybe not, but they'll have to go out there and see if the yen's good for us, you know, by the time I get out there.
I had to look.
But either way.
I'm actually on one right now. I didn't realize it. I'm at my friend's house, and I'm like, wait. Yeah, my friend pointed at the PC tower. I'm like, wait, I'm on one right now? That's cool. Galleria is sponsoring my personal webcam and whole broadcast right now. That's kind of sick. You know what's also sick?
Nice.
Tokyo Game Show happening next weekend. We're gonna get the C Viper build, and I cannot wait. You know who else is here testing out some of the games? Justin Wong. So I want to make sure that you guys know. Be sure to see like all the things going on with Capcom Fighters as well. I know Justin Wong is gonna get his hands on C Viper, and I'm gonna do my best to try to record as much footage as possible with whatever he uncovers. So yeah, there's gonna be a highly playable build for C Viper going on a Tokyo Game Show.
Fight Club, is this lead up to the CPT? This is the actual CPT though, the final one.
This is the CPT, if I'm not mistaken, right? No, actually, I might be wrong. But it does say Fight Club Championship. It usually should say like CPT on it. But I saw the date, it's like October 31st, right? But yeah, that is the CPT event. But that in mind, I didn't mean to cut you off. It didn't say, I didn't see it. But hey, we gotta go real quick. We have to switch over to the next match. When we come back, we got more of that action. Stay tuned, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
I'm a legend in the making, and this is mine for the taking. Cause I got no bricks,任務は遂行する。この守りを崩せるか。作戦開始。とりあえずおとなしくしてもらおう。覚悟はいいか。スタートだ。かかってこい。ここが戦場だ。
大カプコン展、ついに東京で開催。世界を魅了し続けるカプコン、ゲーム作りの裏側に迫る貴重な展覧会。新たなグッズも登場。詳しくは公式サイトで。
すでに緊張してそう。大丈夫？
結構緊張してます。彼。
背中叩いたってくださいよ、背中。
緊張はしてます。大丈夫。いける。
あ、OK です、OK です。
ペーターも逆転できますよ。CA 使えばと。そこ。
大丈夫大丈夫。
OK、ナイス。いい。手堅い。手堅い。
いや、今のセット目ではラウンド先行。
いや、それいいよ、それいいよ。
はいいね。そう、それですよ。フリッカーですよ。相手に嫌な気持ちにさせる勝ち方。勝ち方大事。あ、
気合中盤押しているっていうが、2タッチ必要か。
上。やってない。
さあ、今のはマナー違反だね。嫌な勝ち方をしろとは言ったものの。
そこまで意
味のわかんなさがやばい。
離脱してその前に。
はい。
偉い。
偉いよ。
時間稼げてないっていう感じが。
もういいよ、行くとこまで行っちゃって、行くとこまで。そう。
はい、投げて。
もう、はい。
いやね、サハラの良さめっちゃ出た試合ですこれ。
あった。
ナイス。
ナイス。
来ましたよ。
最初やばかった動き緊張した。
I told you that the break would be short. We are back. More Street Fighter League action here on the official restream. Myself, St. Cola, joined with Vicious, and we are getting into a very delicious match. Saishunkan Kumamoto going up against Good 8 squad. Saishunkan Kumamoto with a very hefty team with the addition of a grappler, and of course Good 8 squad has had a CPT qualified player out there. Shouts out to Sahara. We'll get to him when we get to him. Big ups though. But Saishunkan Kumamoto is going to be starting off on the away side of things. They've got Nemo, Machabo, Kosa, and Kobon to start things off. And of course, we'll get the Good 8 squad when we get on over there. But Vicious, hey man, how you feeling, bro?
You know, there's a lot that's really going into anticipation in regards to like how Sahara's going to be doing in today's specific Street Fighter League performance. He's got to be on fire, and he's got to be in the anchor spot. However, the challenge that awaits before Good 8 squad is sitting on the away side. Saishunkan Kumamoto starting things off with the unstoppable. That ain't Juggernaut, it's Kobon. Just as deadly. No helmet necessary with that Zangief. The Iceman skating through the ranks. It's Kosa evolving before everybody's eyes, really. Every single season that he shows up. Then, of course, Mr. Otani, coined by my man Yipes. Machabo also coming in with probably Ryu. Then all led by the brutal guidance of the brutal Emperor, the violent one. It's Nemo, who hasn't really been akin to like taking, I want to say, like his spot in some of these matches, right? He might be doing so again for this particular team, and might want to be playing as more of a kind of like a, I want to say in the king's position to send out his pawns.
Let's see who gets knocked away off the chess piece board. Good 8 squad. Champion level caliber players out here inside and outside the league. They have a squad full of great competitors and great players and great characters. We'll take a closer look at the goodest squad that is Good 8 squad. All right, let's start things off. Good 8 squad back on the scene and back better than ever. And part of that's because of the fearless, the champion himself, Sahara, taking his victory, getting a CPT seat at the early age of 20-something. Cosmic Buster coming through with the Sagat to see what it got. It's Dogura, still sticking with that character apparently. After that, it's going to be my man, the Singularity. Don't know what that means, but I do know he's the single one that gets it done when it comes to Akuma. It's Kawano. And last but not least, never the least, be honest here, but not honest with that level 2 mix-ups when it comes through. It's Gachikun leading the Good 8 squad once again. What a team. Once again, inside and outside the league, they are doing things differently out here with the characters, the competition, and a big part of the reason why Japan's been doing so. Bugera, sit down, brother. Relax. There you go. Every time he does something.
He's a character, all right. There's always something about him that makes me like smile, more or less.
Oh man, all right. Let's see the wayside puts up. Yeah, I want to see Nemo be a little bit more of a pivotal piece. But it's going to be Kobon to start things off. Machabo and Kosa, and then Nemo, I guess if need be, in the X position. So he's not going to be in the anchor despite having a very good variety of characters. But what do you think about this lineup so far, though?
I'm not against it. It's Nemo taking a back seat for the extra point game just in case it doesn't work out. But having 2 Ryus both in the middle and the anchor spot, in that order with Machabo and Kosa, I'm not uncomfortable with it, actually. I do like that matchup spread against Good 8 squad's current roster. But Sahara's going to be going up first. Ed versus Zangief. That is going to be a little bit problematic, I feel like, for Kobon. And by a bit, I mean a lot.
Yeah, we saw that over at Combo Breaker, and then we've seen it time and time again. You know, I think that's the reason why Kobon went up first, is to draw out Sahara so he's not in the anchor position, so we have to worry about him in a first to 3. And again, going back to what you're saying about it being difficult, I mean, This character has top 3 neutral in the game. Ed is easily able to outspace what Geef wants to do when he wants to poke with the mediums and the lights and things like that. Easy conversions, the flicker is a problem. You know, being caught up in the corner is going to be an issue because, you know, your defense isn't so good as Geef in general. And trying to level 2 any of the fireballs, like, and he baits you with a spark, is going to be also an issue. So Kobon, he's got a lot he's got to do and consider in this matchup.
And we'll find out if that actually is going to come to fruition, right? Like, Kobon has to take a couple of big risks, like trying to get past a lot of the control aspects that Ed has. The biggest thing that Zangief does have in his benefit is having armor, right? That's something you have to consider when it comes to flickers of cloak, sniping out the places where Sahara wants to take control from, which is primarily the medium range. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition, though.
That's a really good point. You know, that Sand Fierce definitely is going to be an issue. So if you're Sahara, you're going to have to be looking for multi-hitting or drive cancelable moves so that Stand Fierce doesn't blow through you. You know, like that's one thing that you have to modify your expenditure a little bit. Also, you have to think about where you're standing to anti-air even more so, because like Manon, there is that jump medium kick that's like a dive kick. It just reaches so damn low. It's even harder to DP, even harder to anti-air. But someone like Sahara has been really good about being in the right place at the right time. And Good A Squad was at the right place at the right time when they found this cat. This dog just started a competition in a serious fashion for Street Fighter just last year, coming from other games. Already qualified for Capcom Cup. That is insane to me. But that speaks to like the level of skill and dedication he has put on. Didn't have the best LCQ run. It was like an 0-2. And then from there, he was like never again. And he put foot to the metal when he was over at UFA.
I mean, he was putting up foot to asses. I'll tell you what, he was playing out of his mind that weekend, brother. Like, you know what? If he keeps this up, they're gonna put Ed in Fortnite. I feel like, and then we're gonna lose him again. Then we're gonna lose him. He's gonna go back to playing that game, and he's gonna be top 3 in Asia yet again, right? That's the cycle.
Wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it. It's like, here's your reward. Back to Fortnite. I'm sure the other players would love to have to see that, because this guy is cooking up way too much. Even to fight someone like Noah, like it was what, 2 up, and then Noah was bringing it back, and he was like, you know what, let me adjust to how you're playing, and you know, not play your game all the way, but play you as a player, which a lot of people don't know how to do when they don't fight Noah. When they fight Noah the first time, they're getting cooked up. He did so well. Can you do well against Kobon, though, who, to his benefit, to Kobon's benefit, he's pretty damn good in the footsie department. Obviously, it's going to be harder, but he's able to convert off a stand light kick more often than not than other Geef players. Can he make Sahara drop in the very first match? Soul versus Good A Squad. Sahara starting off strong, already pushing towards the corner. Get that knockdown Oki. We're on out of there.
There's an SPD already in burnout of Sahara. Talking about Noah the Prodigy prior. Very similar. Drive impact, not gonna happen.
Got him.
Damn. Hella damage. I thought he was gonna live by a pixel.
Well calculated by Kobon. Let's get the anti-air perfectly done for the distance. Gotta keep him up this corner. You have so many tools to do so. Play the mid-range. Don't let him get in. The flicker definitely helping out with that, but raw sweep, as you mentioned, taking risks to find reward. And he does get the side switch. He's out of the corner.
Oh, caught the counter hit against Sahara. Immediate OD uppercut after the first headbutt had rung out from Kobon. Tick throw. No, it was a fake out. We do have the dream. He just needs to sauce it up. Nice and easy, right? Just immediate upper into the forward heavy punch. The fireball was going to do most of the talking anyway, so nice work from Sahara, closing that up. Standing light kick as a counter hit, being able to initiate his Kobon. Drive rush up on in there. A little hezzy with the medium. Oh, that could have been SPD.
Oh no, doesn't get the DP on the other side. So hard to cross cut with this character. Slower DP means slower business. Stand light kick, trying to find an entry point. Kobon inching his way in. A lot of work to do from Sahara. You're too close. Level 3. For my fans. Kobon lands a big first game up against Sahara.
Damn. That was unexpected. There were so many instances where Kobon was the initiator and Sahara kind of like folded under pressure, to be honest with you.
So these weird jump angles. Kind of hard for Sahara to kind of catch, we saw. The fact of the matter is, Kobon's been doing well in the ground game so far.
Yeah.
The fake outs definitely making a little bit of hesitation on the side of Sahara with punish on that stand fierce though.
Oh, drive rush on in there, catches the backdash. It wasn't a punish counter, it was Sahara just holding back. OD uppercut against the approach. Does get a punish counter confirm. Against a little bit of that hop. Kobon falling susceptible to Sahara's pressure now, the reverse in comparison to game 1.
Switch it for anti-airs. Use a button instead if the DP don't work out. Gonna be even more on point with it, but good adjustment here from Sahara so far. Crouching mini punch, we drive rush, we get it with the Lariat. Get on in there, ODDP well expended from Sahara. He's got the lead up and bar, almost got the whip punish on the wheel kick again. Kobe have to take a few more risks that he wouldn't like to in this matchup, but it has to be that way. Wheel strike throw hours on the flicker, the jump back, heavy kick, caught him, he's ice and close. You press on that? What?
Hell yeah. Keep pressing those buttons. Keep pressing those buttons. Sahara with a huge rebuttal and a damage jump out 2 rounds straight into game 2. I'm liking the pacing that Sahara's playing now. He's not afraid against Kobon to throw out some of these OD uppercuts. But now, Kobon, so before I even get to like what Kobon needs to do, Sahara's throwing them in instances where it's very difficult for Kobon to determine whether or not he can get a like crouching light meaty, because they're in between like plus turns, right? A lot of the uppercuts came out from like forward heavy punch, which is like the headbutt, and also like forward moving advancements like drive rush forward into like the knee, etc. Right? Damn!
Wow. Come on now. Sahara low and bar. Wants to make a decision. We jump on out of there. He's tapping parry. We see that tap parry attempt quite a bit. The burnout, the DI, charge up, fierce fist to face up in the corner space, erase all the health. Sahara bringing it back from some really desperate angles. To be honest, I mean, he got tagged from the stand fierce. Second time was just fine. 8 through the armor.
Was that micro step forward roundhouse, or is it micro step roundhouse in general? He got the triple, right? Am I tripping?
It looked
I think
like
he did a micro step.
I'm not bugging. Damn, this man's optimal. Come here.
Oh, no.
You're still too close. Even after that, like that's like only a button that you can't go for a throw. He knew he was going to play a crouching medium punch right after. Went for the immediate level 3. However, Sahara might be danger to reset with the SPD. Not going to happen, Sahara. Oh, he's got all the drive gauge in the world. Get the level 3 as well. Oh, you nasty son of a gun. Went for the fastball special. Batter up.
Damn. These matches are going by mad quick, by the way. Jesus.
Yo, he kind of nasty for that. He went for the, usually you see the slow one, kind of chip him out and kind of anti-air from there and do all that stuff, kind of corral them a little bit. He went for the fast one, and Kobon was not expecting that at all. You really never see that variance, but all right, Sahara, I see you, bro. Smart with it.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job of adjusting towards like everybody he plays against in a very quick manner. Like most of his games have been also very, very fast. But granted, I think it's more so like the matchup itself. I think there's a lot that Ed can control against Zangief, and his damage output is also pretty severe. So it's a little bit of a surprise to see him kind of like traverse past what Kobon wanted to do a bunch, but also like the damage output, like against an 11K chonky boy, that's pretty significant.
The fact that he pressed buttons on plus frame scenario, maybe thinking that Kobon was going to play a bigger button, like a 4 frame, but still, he just knew what Kobon wanted to do, and yeah, I agree, the matchup just not so fun. Obviously, Kobon had to take some risks. We saw him try to reset with the SPD in one of those situations where he like spent double drive rush to whiff air and go into burnout. Sarge had that on lock after crumbling one of those games. Still stayed solid. 10 points, good 8 squad. Machabo's turn. Who goes up against him? Maybe Pugera?
I like Gachikun against Ryu.
Oh. Gachikun, maybe.
3枚組
と3枚組と
He muted himself?
あ、ごめんなさい。
マイクミュートです。
Second time happens.
プゲラベガクラシックでお願いします。
Ah, Bulgaria. Coming in with Vega, no Sagat. Interesting.
Now, whenever you ask a player on stream about stuff, like, because I do this a lot, they'll never tell you the full information. They want to give away their secrets, which is fine. That's okay. Because I asked, I was like, you ever going to play Bison or any other character? Like, at the beginning of Street Fighter League, I was like, are you ever going to pick anybody else? He just hit me with the maybe. And that's it, you know? So I'm glad that he still has another character behind him. You know, you don't want to give away your secrets, I get it. But I'm glad that he did keep up a Bison in the back pocket. We saw that also with the end of the league last year. Like, he kept up his DJ to fight the Cammy in the background. You know, he was hiding. He wasn't playing on CFN as much. Maybe a secret CFN. But just getting it ready and prepped and prepared for when it needs to come out. And this is a good matchup, I think, for Bison. Can't throw out the fireballs. You got the buttons out, pace him, and your drive rush a lot longer than Ryu's.
He does speak English rather well, actually. Bulgaria's been around and traveling back and forth from the States for a plethora of majors for like a decade plus. I had the luxury of being able to talk to him during the Street Fighter 4 era and grab dinner with him too. There are a lot of moments where he's very like soft-spoken and very direct, right? When he says maybe, I can understand like, even if he had some secrets to hide, he wasn't hiding it there. Like maybe it's such like, it's just, you take it for face value because there are so many characters that he has like the same school of thought as Dogura. Like him and like Bulgaria and Dogura have a lot of like similar-minded thinking when it comes to playing Street Fighter. Their approach is different in regards to execution, but Bulgaria does have a lot of fun with like certain characters, and if it blends well with him, then he'll run with it too. So I mean, like, I think this one is more so like a call of urgency where it's like, we need to get this W, right? I think if I were to try out Bison first to figure out the matchup, then I think that would be more towards my benefit. But honestly, I think he's gonna be sticking out with the Bison versus Shotos regardless. I don't think he would even pull out Sagat versus Ken. He does have some really interesting tech against Akuma, primarily against anytime he goes airborne, which he's been kind of practicing on streams. But yeah, I think if it's like Ryu or Ken, he'll opt for Bison.
It makes sense. Like, even if the matchup is still okay for Sagat, why not be better off by playing Bison and having more obvious, like, optimal tools to reverse the fireballs? Your neutral's still really good, your driver's still good, and obviously if you put the bomb on, every matchup is good for Bison as long as it is on at least. But I do like that Bulgaria has switched over to the Bison, but Machabo is definitely not going to be an easy person to take down. He is optimal for a reason, whether it be the anti-airs, whether it be with his Ryu in terms of his combos. And you have a character where being optimal nets you such a big reward that even if you don't have the best neutral in terms of like fighting Bison, if you get one clean jump in, one clean stand fierce or a punish counter, the health goes like this. It's just all deleted and depleted. So I do like that much with sticking with the character. You know, I'm surprised that he's not on the Kuma, but his Ryu is just fine. I can't wait to see what Bulgaria has to offer in this matchup, and I'm glad that he's going up now. Because, you know, I thought it was going to be Sahara, and then maybe like Komamoto goes up here or whatever, but it seems like the composition is still well within the realm of, oh, they're putting up this player, we've got somebody prepared for them.
They're going to get interviews underway to figure out if Bulgaria is going to give us a poem or some sort of haiku like he usually does. He's got the most profound answers when it comes to like any interview, and he does it on purpose. Obviously, he's doing it now. He's definitely trolling, for sure.
Yeah. Every time, his team is like, bro, what are you saying? Like, what do you mean? Like, what? At least we got Machabo though. He says, I'm a Ryu player now, but I lost to Bulgaria's Bison as Akuma last year. It's time to get revenge. So I've gone to the path of nothingness. Turn your health into nothingness. All right, Machabo, let's see if we can get revenge this time. Bulgaria says, I haven't had time to play because of the order. He was saying things that they could not understand. Production just couldn't gather. Thanks, Bulgaria. We're trying to get the interview, bro, and like, you're right.
He'll just say random things. He will just like he'll start serious. You know, he does this in English too. He'll start off serious and then he'll troll the hell out of you and look at you dead in the eye and be like, "You understand?" Like, no. It's like it's like the Chris Hoof, right? It's like, "You understand?" It's like, hell no. Same exact thing, man. It is actually mad funny. Like, yeah, Bulgaria's he's a character, bro. Like, I've been around the block for a hot minute in this community, and I'll tell you what, my interactions with Bugera have all been the same.
They haven't changed?
They have not changed. Except I dap him up now. He daps up proper and I give him a hug, so
yeah,
it's cool.
Oh, all right. Let's see if we can understand him in this matchup. The DI does link the rest of the drive gauge. Very smart running from Machabo. Again, he's optimal for a reason. Takes the drive gauge, making it even harder for Bison to fight back or do anything significant, especially if he gets like an OD. It's not going to be happening. Can't drive reversal, but it's just fireballs right now. Machabo just taking the time to stock up with a Dinjin. Surprised he didn't press the issue.
Did you get the forward throw now from Bugera? Well-spaced scissor kick as well. Machabo trying to snipe out. Okay, I was gonna say snipe out, maybe move it. Bugera actually handed to him on a silver platter with the whiffed fierce.
This man is a wall of buttons and fireballs until whip punish. Drive rush throw, does not catch the recovery, luckily, from Machabo. Staggering them stand mediums, deleting the drive cage, trying to go for the air-to-air. A jump heavy kick and a low forward fireball cleans the rest of it up, Machabo. First round for him.
Oh, very aggressive from the side of Machabo, and still catching Bugera, walking back. Bugera had actually two big counterplay moments, and now a third one with a back throw. Machabo stuck in this corner, plus frames. He's trying to jump out of that drive rush back roundhouse, eats the medium combo, and now into the bomb ender. What do you do about this?
You pray. You hope that you can survive all this pressure. Your drive gauge looking really low right now. The jump back does get hit. Get the shimmy, hold on now. Watch it with an opening. Tatsu, back to mid-screen. Does block the overhead. Eats a throw. A low forward with some bar behind it. You are going to die. But not for sure.
What attack! That could have been a little bit devastating, but so is that low medium kick. Bugera has gotten clipped with that low medium kick into massive damage and also into death twice over in that single game.
Machabo just really good about standing where he needs to be, standing his ground, not giving him too much, but not overextending on his side of things. He did get with punish once with his crouching medium kick, but wasn't to anything significant or to like fear at all.
Damn!
Finesse and blast taking towards the corner. Oh yeah. How we're starting off.
Subtle. Standing medium kick as the punish counter. Forcing Bugera back, or at least a little bit of a halt with the fireballs. Forward throw now. Drive rush on in, doing it again. Important tech for Machabo. Didn't want to be pushed into the corner off of that.
Wow. Well, knockdown. That's interruption on the drive rush. So I already had that button out and about. Tatsu. On the back right, still there. No surprise, my man's getting that Madoki. Walk up throw again. That's the win. Machabo set point. Garrett scratching his head, trying to figure out the times for Machabo. They're just so different. At the same time, he's been able to just, it feels like being in one spot more often than not. Here we go. That's a good start though. Got the bomb on. Can't make anything of it. The jump back deletes it off the table.
Damn. Look at the drive gauge damage coming in. Not quite. Fireball will do it though. Ah, okay. Still nice and patient. Fierce. Getting the burnout now. You know, not much you could do there other than super one. Bugera not willing to let go of it. He might be dead for it though.
A lot of bar, but the Dinjin fireball, not even OD is the victory. Quick with it, slick with it. Machabo. Pure footsies in pure control. It's just kind of wild to see Bugera not be able to play the game at all, even with Bison. But it was good that Machabo did not expose any points to be going opened up continuously. It felt like there were no bad fireballs that were thrown out. There was no chance of like a OD Psycho Crusher to come through at all to initiate against that. It felt like the buttons weren't really working out. And when the bomb was on, the jump back heavy kick was cleaning up and taking that away. Machabo just that jump back heavy kick. Jump back mediums also felt like they were like the way to like survive in the corner against Bison. And that low forward whip punish too. This man was on point with it. God dang.
Yeah, I think there was only one instance where we saw Machabo in the corner and he was on the right side where he got the bomb planted on him off of a combo. And like, yeah, since then, I don't know, he's found the right answers defensively. I think he's much more of a threat when it comes to wake-ups, right? Like, he's got OD uppercut, and at that time he had super, right? It could have been either or. So Dogura, I think, played on the back foot just a little bit too much. But there are moments, too, that you saw in Game 1 where he was willing to throw out some of these limbs to try to get a counter poke against Machabo. But you see Machabo trying to act second and get a ton of these punish counters against Dogura's forward advancing normals, right? As great as those normals are and lead for like plus frames on block, they leave you mad susceptible if they whiff, right?
Agreed. Alright, last match. Gachikun comes up to end, at least to close things out. And against Kosa, you know, I like this. I think Akuma Ryu is like, it's fine for Akuma until you get hit and you start second guessing your life decisions. It's not even like a bad matchup, it's the fact that he could deal out so much damage and one mistake could cost you your life. So I do like Gachikun coming up. You know, you get trouble with the fireballs. You can go fireball to him to kind of space him out. Your mix-ups in the corner are gonna be deadly no matter who it is. And Gachikun is such a good defensive player, it's gonna be hard to open him up. We're talking about how his defense is like top 10 in terms of like Street Fighter. I definitely think he is up there in terms of being really hard to open up and hard to approach to in general.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, and I think majority of the player base and competitive player base would agree to that. But Kosa's done a really great job of like coming into this character in terms of like figuring out what he needs to do to succeed, right? I think there's a lot of development, really solid development coming in from Kosa. I haven't really paid attention to how he performed over in his last couple of events, but I think him being in the captain spot says a lot about like where his current developments are with Nemo trusting him. We are going to get the interview coming in from Kosa. Very easy response. Daijoubu desu. I guess he's doing all right. I guess he's chilling. Not too in depth, if I'm not mistaken. But what do I know?
Sounds about right to me. And Kosa, as you mentioned, has definitely been one of those players that, you know, has switched to Ryu that has made it work. Some people switch to like a character to make it work for them that is like stronger or whatever, and they kind of fall off to the wayside. Not Kosa. Like when I saw him at CEO, I was like, are you sure? And he actually did really good work out there. From there, he has kind of been exploding with this Ryu. He did say, yeah, as you're right. He said, yeah, I'm fine with Gachikun. I'll do my best. So short and sweet, as you mentioned.
Like I guess that's fine. He'll be all right. He'll be just fine. Yeah, not too much coming in from Kosa. I'd imagine Gachikun wouldn't really have much of a rebuttal. I don't think they have a lot of history against each other throughout League, right? Kosa's been around for a hot minute, but also he's been developing different characters, so I don't know what Gachikun would actually have in rebuttal towards like Kosa. But somebody in the chat said Kosa and Kobon both have Giga Chad chins. Is that a team requirement? I didn't really notice it, and I started looking more and more. I'm like, damn, dude, these guys are chiseled.
The chisel chins. Gachikun said, we had some conversations. If they put out 2 Ryus, I would go for one, and Pukera would go for another. So you were right to call out the fact that at some point Gachikun was going to fight a Ryu, and they're prepped and prepared. Is it enough to take it? Soul versus Good 8 squad. Kosa, Gachikun. That 30. Go get it. Yeah, use that answer. Dash up, get that throw. That fireball is how we start off with the footsies with this character.
Damn, the medium kicks are just so well spaced. Oh, you actually got the fireball trap. Wasn't in time for the throw, though. You get the back throw coming in from Kosa. Now the forward throw. Here comes the harassment. Jumps out of the corner. Does have to pay the toll for it with the jab DP.
Close range with the fireballs every so often. Not trying to expose too much. Fireball for a fireball. Now we see OD. But Kosa, steady with his fireballs. Hasn't been exposed just yet. Perfect parry. No drive rush punish right after. Wasn't close enough. Breaks the throw. Kosa low on drive gauge now. Towards the corner. Eagle spike for the Oki. Gomeyo.
Tough spot for Kosa. He's trying to weave past the normals that Gachikun's throwing at him too. It's so difficult. Ooh!
So that was it too.
Whiffing
No
into
more
these
punishes
parries.
yet. Oof.
I like that check. That check on the drive rush. Oh, that's counter hit. Oh.
Level 2. Will they assist me? Push him. OD the trade. I know he's shaking his head. Perfect parries. The hands are still there. The lead for Gachikun, but it doesn't matter. The low. No follow-up though. He didn't want to believe, but you would have got the lead from that. The walk down, do something, open him up, the overhead. That's enough. Kosa takes it at the very last bit. He dropped it a little bit. He didn't come into the crouching muted kick. I get it, but at the last second, he finds the over. The blessings from above. Oh my God.
Jesus. Drop combo into the overhead, son. Oh, Gachikun's gonna be feeling real pissed about that. Oh, too far for the punish counter. He actually, no, he got the punish counter. He didn't get the link into the sweep. Instant Arabian Cyclone or Sky High. Dude, these guys are swinging. Kosa needs one more hit. He gets it! Low forward! Hashogeki, level 3. Even without drive gauge behind him, he's still such a threat. Kosa making a huge statement.
Once again, I gotta keep pointing out, there is drive rush right in front of their face, and they have jabbed it, they have checked it, they have challenged it. The defense to hold their ground. We've seen this entire just day of Street Fighter play, but even right there, to stop the pressure from coming in is next level. That takes a lot of awareness, what button to utilize too as well. Gachikun though, you don't care, charge a fireball, but it's Kosa that gets the back throw. Never mind, we're switching on out OD expenditure, ensure that happens.
Full countering conversion off of the medium. Very meaty crouching medium punch after 2 frame kills of the same button. Hella damage incoming. Level 1, had to spend it, didn't have drive gauge behind him to do any sort of extension. So, not too bad from Gachikun.
More of an active start, an active pace here from Gachikun. Press the issue just a little bit more with the OD fireballs, and that time it is normal parry though. Walk up throw. Counter combo, blue Kevin special.
I like that.
Yeah.
What is Gachikun looking for here? Right, he's taking a little bit of a back step towards whatever Kosa wants to do. There it is. Caught him a little bit too close for comfort with a crouching medium kick.
Stand fierce, drive rush, stay medium, back throw on the +1. Go for the whirlwind kick, getting nothing at all. Kosa's got some Bardic spin if he wants to do for like an OD fireball, but whiffing too much. That crouching medium kick is doing numbers right now.
There's the Gachikun we know and love right there. Dumping out the rest of that damage behind the enhanced whirlwind. All tied up one apiece. This has been quite the challenge for Kosa, right? This is why the timeout has been taken. You saw Kosa forcing Gachikun with some of these whips, right? There's been a numerous amount of times where Gachikun had gotten in the right spacing to try to do like medium kick. Like that's gonna be his pressure point normal. Medium kick is so potent in so many different matchups. It reaches mad far. Off of counter hit, you get a benefit. Off of punish counter, you get a benefit into like a knockdown, into like whatever setup, which allows Rashid to get away with a lot of the things he gets to do. The change up between round 1 into round 2 is what really broke Kosa though, right? Like Gachikun was slowly mixing it between like waiting, charging fireballs, and letting them rip early. I think he's more so looking for Kosa to commit to offense and just wait it out, right? Which is why we even saw like the timer wind down in the very beginning. We saw like shades of that coming in from Gachikun. We're seeing that a lot more now, and it's become a little bit more potent. Kosa is starting to lose his patience.
It's hard because like when those moments kind of slow down, you also saw like that crouch shooter kick dash up work out because he like gained the range and gained the sensitivity that Kosa had gotten, and he took advantage from there, right? It's also a range where I feel like if you perfect parry a fireball, drive for jab for Rashid should work out. So even that fireball becomes a threat. So you're like, well, damn, what do I do? If I throw a normal, he's gonna whip punish me. Throw a bad fireball, he's gonna smoke me for it. But I want to give up too much ground. And while you're thinking about all these options, dash up, crouching medium kick, or drive rush or whatever, or even a change up with a fireball timing, and all that puts even more weight on your mind. Those aspects, despite some of the normals being so good for Ryu, it doesn't matter. Like those walled up normals, like they just don't matter anymore because of all the variants that Gachikun could put on. So good stuff for him to acclimate immediately and then level 2 to finish it off.
Now I want to see how the development happens between like Kosa and Gachikun, right? We are taking that time out. Everybody has access to 1 and 1 only after a loss. But I want to know if Kosa's going to be a little bit more active with fireballs going forward.
Maybe OD. I feel like it's hard to read when Gachikun wants to put a fireball, but in OD to get some more space, to also put some more mental stack on Gachikun, wouldn't be too bad. I mean, he had a lot of drive gauge that he wasn't just using, because you already saw what happens if you try to drive rush up. Gachikun's ready with a stand jab or crouch jab, gets a counter hit, get Oki off of that. So maybe it has to be OD fireball. Maybe it has to be drive rush donkey kick. Get a little wild, not mild out here. Switch up on your side of things. There's some risk behind some of that, but you have to put something on the deck like Gachikun is doing, or you're going to be left behind.
I can definitely get behind that idea. You see it, right? Medium kicks pretty much gauging the distance, and now once he's up close, the strings do get interrupted. Kosa trying to keep on pace with how Gachikun's delivering his offense. Now you see a hybrid of it all. Now Gachikun, again, in this weird, very weird range, right? Hovering back and forth, too. Trying to force Kosa to commit to a normal. And then, once he senses that pensiveness that you mentioned, he'll throw out a closer range medium.
First time light kick to switch it up this time. The Arabian Cyclone, getting the low. Midi stand medium. Frame kill for the throw right after. The harassment. Kosa on the back burner right now. Donkey kick trying to find anything. Would love to get a punish counter. Get some distance. On your drive rush, you get back thrown. Uh-oh. Oh! No punish! He didn't want to drive rush because he had no bar. I get it, but damn.
That's rough. That was kind of rough. Like, Kosa trying to dash up, I guess. It was a little bit of a stutter step to go into roundhouse, but he missed. That's awkward. Oh, the low forward getting punished again. Again, Gachikun's hovering around that normal so well.
He's trying to protect his toes. Down back as much as possible. Don't throw this time. Stamp is perfect. Parry on the Arabian Cyclone. Trade combo does work out better, but the tech. There's no forward or back throw at all. Kosa gets nothing extra.
Punishable.
Oh, too risky.
Yeah, way too close. Way too close. Okay. We do get the back throw, set up into level 2. Very healthy on the drive gauge, right? Kosa doesn't really have to fear as much. That's fine.
Yeah.
But what's not? Oh, you're out dead. Yeah, oh. You are beyond dead. Especially after OD spinning mixer. Behind the whirlwind, you get OD sky high into whatever the hell you want. You have meter, you get to do a super. It's just one wrong guess away and you're chunked for 35 minimum.
It's hard, like, you want to hold these throws, but try to interact early. Game point for Gachikun, try to clean up that combo. Okay, we'll get the drive rush. The follow-up, the DP ender. You're nice and close after reuse DP, especially heavy. You see that meterless Oki nowadays. You took your turn? So it was my turn. It's the meaty fireball, though.
Man, he is sniping out on all of the ranges against Kosa and also getting the appropriate whiff punishes. Okay, Kosa drive gauge. Yeah, Kosa's going to be pressing the pedals or pressing the initiative with the fireballs too, so long as Gachikun's within the yellow, but slowly but surely letting him get back that drive gauge. Trying to press the issue again. Excellent defense. I'm telling you, man, Gachikun's so active and also ready for some of these sudden instances of drive rush. Level 2, Kosa cannot afford to hold a spinning mixer. Oh, he can't now.
Stagger.
Oh, no way.
Oh. You know, I kind of get it. It's like an instinctual thing, but you never want to do that. Never jump back, especially when they get the bar at the bottom. The ODDP for the chase down, the need for speed. Lets it rip. ODDP, he baited out the parry on wake up with a forward heavy kick. You gotta be kidding me. This guy he knows so much about defense, he knows how to blow up your defense.
Sounds about right, yeah. Oh. Couldn't get a conversion off of those jabs. Kosa just about to build that drive gauge back. Gachikun still sitting at near perfect. Forward throw, level 2 intact. No, it's going to be enhanced fireball first.
Travis right after. There's a shimmy. Finds an opening Tatsu, take him towards the corner as much as you can. Okay, he's just waiting for Gachikun to play second here. Hit his buttons off the stand pierce, the bigger buttons. He's in burnout, but definitely not an option. He can spin level 2 to finish it off. Level 1 if you really got it. We're seeing a buffer.
Holding out as much as he can. Oh, we caught him jumping! You get the enhancement too! You might actually be close to dead. You are dead! Oh my god, the forward medium punch into the heavy mixer was just enough. Can you believe it? Yo, Kosa trying to jump back and create space for himself in front of the enhanced whirlwind.
Can't do that. He done shown you. You kept doing it. You can't do that. And Gachikun with the chase down, he understood how much on the back foot Kosa was to be able to get these follows perfectly done. And I can understand. It just felt like there was no time to press the buttons he wanted to press. Then he, like, I felt like at the very end, at the least, Kosa was playing second. He was like, okay, I'll play second and try to find it out that way. But then there was variance from Gachikun's side on that. He just constantly adjusts. And as mentioned, when you know that your defense is so good, you know other people's defense very, very well and what they want to do. And when they're on the defensive and how to open them up. It's almost like a secondary gift or a buff of all things. And for Gachikun to be so prepped and prepared for the perfect range for his crouching Munin kick to whip punish Kosa's crouching Munin kick to make it hard for him to throw out fireballs because he's perfect parry, drive rush right after, or get jumpers, whatever it may be. Gachikun played that perfectly. That was a really good match of absolute control and shutdown. There's some good rounds, some drops here and there, but more than not, Gachikun, it was in his bag the entire time.
Yeah, that was actually kind of wild that Gachikun actually let Kosa get away with that low forward, by the way. Like low forward, drivers cancel into overhead because you could option select that, right?
But that level 2 makes us all scared. The shimmy after the enhancement, you still get the buff. And of course, we're probably going to be seeing him jump back. Yeah. It's so he did it so early too, so I think he thought maybe if I do it early, there's no way I'll get caught. But Gachikun, man, he has melded in the wins, brother, and that's 30-10. Good 8 squad with significant victory over Saishunkan Kumamoto. Machabo stood his ground, at least got his revenge against Dogura, but good 8 squad just too titanic.
You know, Pugera was also making some like Sagat gestures. He was doing like low tiger shot or like high tiger shot, and he was doing like tiger uppercut earlier before his matches. I'm like, dude, don't tease if you're not gonna be about it, brother. But Haikido and Sahara looking just as strong as we saw in the previous weekend. Gachikun adjustments to Kosa, as expected, right? It was either one or the other Ryu. Pugera coming in with the Bison, a little unexpected. And also Kawano taking the backseat, a little bit unexpected. Either way, good 8 squad comes out the winner. And it's funny too because like we were talking about like how stacked this team is. They were looking kind of sus in day 1. However, they flipped the script significantly, right? They got the first 40 bomber in day 2 against CAG Osaka. So they're currently on the right path. They also have 80 points. So there's a 3-way tie, if I'm not mistaken, for 80.
Oh wow. Okay. Really pulling up the right way. Good 8 squad. You know, even with like the way that Pugera didn't perform with the Bison, just having the variance that you don't know what he could pull out at any point. He could do Bison. He could do maybe DJ if he needs to. And maybe he's got the jury still up there as well. Obviously the Sagat, he might tease you and just, you don't know what he's gonna do. You know, that variance also makes this team even harder to prepare for. Sahara being in Capcom Cup means he can fully focus on Street Fighter Week. You don't have to travel anymore. You don't have to worry about World Warrior anymore. It's all about League for right now. You can worry about, you know, the Capcom Cup a little bit later on. So we are getting the interviews. Guano goes first. He's the captain. He says, I'm Just so happy. Awesome games. We are a really strong team. I played Ryu and practiced against Gachikun and Pogera, so I was the reason they won against Ryu. I did forget that for a little bit when Ryu got buffed in Season 3, he played him heavily for like 2 weeks. So I guess he does have a Ryu. But is that really the reason, Kumano? It's just you? All right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I will agree with that.
We'll take it.
I did misspeak a little bit earlier. There are only 2 teams tied for 80 points. My mistake. It was Good 8 Squad and Nagoya NTPOJA, by the way. That's kind of wild. It might change up though.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might change up. No, Victrix is not in that running. CAG Osaka is at 30. Yeah. So it's only Good 8 Squad and Nagoya NTPOJA.
We're talking to Sahara right now. It looks like it says, I was nervous, but I started with a loss on the first game, so I wasn't too disappointed. So I'm glad that he has the fortitude, the mental fortitude to be like, yeah, it was the first game, whatever. I'll get my lick back real soon. And he did, and he got his game off. So with that being said, leads into like the LCQ. I feel like if you have such a bad run, you go 0-2, a very sick LCQ, mind you. It's not like the LCQ was weak or whatever. I feel like you are never gonna be like upset about losing like a first game after having that kind of performance. You know, like you've already hit rock bottom. You'll only be swimming upward at that point. Since he's in good shape right now, so he can play even better next time.
Bulgaria is speaking in tongues again, man. He's definitely throwing out like poetry slam. Even Gachikun trying to gas him up. He's like, yeah, you're right, bro. He's like, preach, my guy. Yeah. See, look, he did it again. Look. The first part of it, can you see me crying my blood out? I am so very sorry for my loss, but great thing that my team won. Telling you, bro.
My man's in his own anime. And we're just living in it. We're just living in it, man. Oh, I love Bulgaria, you know. He said Sahara also won his first game, so he won't be nervous anymore. So like he's happy that Sahara kind of had that big win at the beginning. And I think it's just a matter of like, you know, if you have these secondary characters, keeping them a little bit more informed, which is obviously easier said than done against some of the players that have to fight through the pedigree out here. And Macho has been thinking about that loss since last year. He's been seeing his cereal. He's been losing sleep over it. So maybe it's a matter of Macho just being overly prepared and prepped for Pugera no matter what character he played, rather than, you know, the Bison not being it, but you know he'll come back stronger.
その内容を出せたかなっていうのもあったんですけど、やっぱコサさんってやっぱ人読みがすごい上手なプレイヤーだと思うんで、やっぱそう極力その自分の流線っていうのを見られたくないなっていうのもあったんで、まあそれをこうオフ対戦で
A lot of praise is coming in from Gachikun.
こうなんか忍ばせて、で今回出せたのは良かったなと思いました。
Okay.
There
were a couple of positive things he wanted to say about Kosa's development and Ryu. If I picked that up. But we do get our final couple of matches, final couple of statements being made too. I practiced with Wabichi and Yas, and I was able to get really comfortable. Damn, no shoutouts to Kawano from Gachikun on that one. And he said, however, I knew Kosa is good at reading opponents' moves, so I was glad I was able to win.
That's good strategy that he was doing then. A lot of mental stack so that you're hiding your intention, what you want to do, so it's not so obvious. You know, it's a really baseline thing. And shouts out to him mentioning Wabichi, who is like used to be like a modern player. I think he played Modern Loop before. He's like a very young player, like Suiji and them. I think he was on the same team that Hikaru was on previously, the Evangelion team.
Yeah,
that kid is really good. Like he is another young player that I would not be surprised also joining League like next year. Like do not be surprised if you see that cat pop up with Suiji next year, because they are clean. They are super clean. They see more opportunities to travel. But regardless, obviously good enough practice, more than good enough practice for Gachikun. Sahara won in France, Pugera lost, but I know he's in good shape. Our strength is that even if one player loses, the others will definitely win. We'll keep on winning until the end. Good confidence.
I would hope so. Again, very rocky start in day one, but they have skyrocketed since then, right? Being one of the very first teams to get a full 40 bomber in game 2. Getting this 30-point ball game puts them up at the 80-point positioning along with Nagoya NTPOJA, which leads us to our final match of the day. Victrix Favu Gaming going up against CAG Osaka. That's going to be happening up real soon. But it's not without showing love to the sponsors like we always do during this part of the broadcast. I mean, we've seen Varmilo throw it down a bunch. The fact that also Storm Kubo is at the desk as a commentator, a consistent commentator now for League, is pretty damn sick, right? Making that full transition from pro into commentary is something that I've always really admired too. And I honestly thought he had another year in him, right? I think I would have loved to see him progress with Honda this year.
Yeah, that would have been fun, but he's definitely doing a good job from what I hear. So, you know, it's good to see him take his talents elsewhere. We've seen Otani do that with like content creation and stuff like that. He mentioned also he wanted to also commentate as well. So it's good to see people using their talents of being like a high-level player and their understanding of the game and take it out here. We see that with Justin Wong, obviously. Yipes is like that. I mean, you've been a high-level player too as well in 4, and also you were good at 5 too. So like, you know what I'm saying? You all also up there. But seeing the ability to transfer that and be coherent, it also takes like a highest level skill. So shouts out to Storm Kubo and again the sponsors that are out here. If you want to know more about what's going on at Capcom_esports, where you can follow me or Vicious to see us yap about Street Fighter League and everything Street Fighter in general. If you want to know the happenings of what's ongoing in the land of Japan and elsewise.
Yeah, we'll be pretty much retweeting as much as we can in regards to everything from the Japanese side, but also when it comes to fight sticks, Varmilo actually showcased this stick over at Evo Las Vegas. I had a chance to actually like test it out a little bit. I didn't get to purchase it, but one of the coolest things is the amount of different conveniences it has, right? It has a retractable USB cable. It does have a way to store it easy, right? You have a detachable ball top. You do have the handle also if you just want to carry it like that too. There's a bunch of things that went right with the design of the Varmilo Kasai, I want to say, but yeah. Even the wrist guard, right? The multiple buttons plus the wrist guard easily want to say like setting the pace at a pretty quick pace at that, right? Varmilo, I feel like has just come up in the scene recently, if I'm not mistaken.
You can tell they either had input from fighting game players or they're fighting game players themselves with all those extra things. Having the holder, having the actual cord, like it looks like it's a retractable one. I wonder if they make leverless. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check it out on my own to see. But even then, I'd like to get a stick of theirs because the quality looks good, the buttons look excellent, the artwork on them looks fire too as well. And see the pros carry them around, that's how you know their quality. When you see a professional player who is flying out spending bare amount of bucks to come out and fly out, but with these sticks, that's how you know it's of good quality because they're going to be trusting their tournament lives with them. So shouts out to them. I need to again check it to see if they've got some leverless at all. But man, those buttons look sick. If you go out there, let me know how good they are if they have them at TGS.
Yeah, they most definitely will. I'll definitely give them a shout out and pay them a visit and maybe test it out. But look at this goober. Look at my man Storm Kubo cheesing it up, holding this fight stick. Yeah, he's gonna be going through the features right now. Actually, one of the things I did like about it is rather sturdy. The weight's actually pretty good, so it stays stable on your lap while you're playing. And look, he's gonna detach the ball top as we mentioned earlier. Does he have it? He doesn't. He's never done this ever in his life. He's doing a fantastic job. Aru is looking at him in pure disgust. He's like, do you have it? Look, Aru did it too. He did the squeeze and pop, right?
He's like, that's all you gotta do. He's like, bro, just give it to me. Just give it to me. He's like, listen, this is how you do it. Watch.
Hey, look at that. He's like, hey, I know it's your first time on the desk. It's also going to be your last time on the desk.
Oh.
Yeah,
you know, I feel like every commentator got to have one of those mishaps, man. It just has to happen. You know? Just has to happen once.
James does it every single time, by the way. He's popped out that Victrix ball top more often than I can count. I'll tell you what, man.
Bow.
He lost one of them over at CEO.
Better find us some your paycheck, James.
Yeah, I'm like, where you're just gonna do that on the block that I'm with you and make a highlight out of that? All right, bro. Oh, that I don't know. What is that? Oh, it's like a.
Oh, that side piece.
Oh, it's for like a shoulder strap. So they also have like a little like strap holder on the sides of it, so you can carry it around with just like a single shoulder strap.
That is sick. Oh, heck
really
yes.
cool.
I just carry it like this. You can just put it on the. Ooh, that is fire. Yo, they had to have had fighting game players in there at all moments to be like, we need this, or their fighting game players themselves are like, you know, I've had enough. Carrying this big old stick, my arms hurt, I need some support. That is such an obvious thing, but like a thing that you wouldn't even know to put in there consistently. That's so cool.
It's cool. Like if you don't want to have like the whole setup with like having a bag, putting a stick in it, having to like unravel it, take out the bag, put it back in, etc. Very direct, very straightforward, and also pretty convenient. So that plus the handle on top make it very, very easy. What is happening here? Oh, it's right. You can swap out the button. Is he gonna do it?
Oh God, please let him. Please let him get this one out.
Oh, he got it. So you can pop out the button, and then they have a new switch they've developed too, where it's like double-sided.
Double-sided.
Or no, well, either way, it's not gonna be that button. But I have seen it on Make Its Rounds on Twitter. But yeah, very easy to pop out buttons, as you saw. But I'm kind of curious. Is it one of those things where the socket itself is wired so that you can just swap, like hot swap buttons on the fly? I don't know if that's a thing, unless it's specific to Vermilo. I don't know.
The retractable cord. See, this is my bane right here. Unwrapping the cord, getting it lost. That would be perfect for me. This, it's like they made a stick for my inconveniences. This is so cool. Dang. Ramilo, pull up. I gotta, next time you're on Evo, I gotta get one. I gotta get one. This is too much.
Wild. Actually wild.
Wow.
We do have one more match left, by the way, but not without thanking Varmilo. They're going to be very much so present at Tokyo Game Show. I'll be sure to come through and check them out and report ASAP. But yeah, these are the leverless designs as well. They have been showing these off. Actually, they've shown the left one off a bunch in previous seasons of Street Fighter League, but I've never seen the faceplate designs on there. That's pretty insane.
Huh. I guess I did forget about that. They did have that previous seasons. All right, well, that answers my question. All right, I'm down to grab one. And shouts out to Rebel once again. These cool graphics, yo, these are sick. Every time that Street Fighter gets some artwork, these are fire. Fire, fire, fire. Some B-boy things going on. Red Bull always putting down for the community. We saw them also do the school-related events too as well. They're dabbling in everything related to fighting games as much as they can to spread the good word about fighting games. So big ups to them once again for supporting Street Fighter League as well as everything else that they do for the community. And I hope we get another Kumite. That's just a side thing. But as you mentioned, we have one more match coming up. Victrix Fabu Gaming versus CAG Osaka to close things out. There might be a lot of Mai's. There might be a lot of Elena's coming through too as well. But I do know it's going to be a lot of great action. Thank you for sticking with us so far. We've had some great matches, and it's hard to call who's going to take this. I think all my predictions have been thrown out the window. I know yours have been too. But at the very least, it all equals some good action leading up to this final match. Fabu Gaming, CAG Osaka got to pull up and take the top spots. It's going to be a difficult thing, but after this break, we'll have more Street Fighter League to close things out in a few moments. Don't go too far.
Victrix Fabu Gaming 対 CAG 大阪の模様をお届けしてまいります。再開はこちら約8分後の21時22分頃を予定しておりますので、それまでは一旦失礼いたします。
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
自分の多分仕事するべきポイントというのはホームで勝つことだと思うので、ここでしっかり10点持って帰りたいと思います。
ここから
いいね。
いきますがインパクト。
中継台形
いいね。いいね。はい、ドンドンドン。ナイス。
ノーゲージで OK。小林は3ゲージが目の前。
ナイス。
やめている。
小技出しにボタンを
走ってきた。
はい。
ゲット。うわー、いったんすぎ。
これ怪しいの。
残るんじゃない。あ、行かないな。
あ、行ったわ。
力しっかりと。
ちゃんとバックダウンでですね。
いけると思ったらそのままでもいいよ。
取っていいですか。取っていいですか。いいよいいよ。
明らかに前節よりかなりうまい。
はい。
そう。これはうまくいってると思う。そう。
相手も強い。そう簡単に勝てない。よし、行ってきます。
よし、5秒で。
いってらっしゃい。
少し前のめりになったか。
いいよ。
飛んでいる。
オッケーオッケー。いいね。
ラッシュ止めつつ、補正切り成功。
何が。ナイス。はいはいはい。小林の土俵だな。
小林としてはもうこれやと。
ナイス。うまい。
ナイス。素晴らしい、いい内容だ。
もう素晴らしい、本当にいい試合。あり
がとうございます。ナイス。
Back like we never left with our final marquee matchup of today's Street Fighter League 4 Division S. Victrix Favu Gaming going up against CAG Osaka. Back into it, myself and Senkola to deliver all of the action. Let's take a look at what Favu's bringing to the table. Of course, with all the calculations in the world. The cold hard math coming in from Ryukichi. Followed by the Hero of Sunrise. That is a classic title. It's Mochi delivering all the pain with that Chun-Li. Followed by the one who will put you 6 feet under. The Gravemaker, Fujimura. Last but not least, one of the biggest inspirations out there. Uncle Sakonoko, the strongest spear, captain of the Victrix Favu Gaming team. Well-rounded and also very well-studied. I'm actually kind of curious to what they're going to be delivering to CAG Osaka with their current roster.
Going up, CAG Osaka on the home side. This team has had a collection of wily characters and wily players. No longer the new kids on the block. They have been absolute veterans of Street Fighter League and now stand poised to try survive in this division, as difficult as it is, with a new kid on the block, which we'll talk about in a second. But CAG Osaka, home side, we'll see what they have in store for us. See what their selections are. We'll see what their players are. Take a look. Starting off with the boy who becomes the man, Takaki, who is on the Blanca, who's been a fan favorite from around the world, it seems, after that great extra game that he had the very first time that he played. The Eternal Ace, Uryo, taking a sip of the swig with Jamie, and also the Chun-Li getting a little bit better. I saw him practicing that on his stream. After that's going to be the Limited Dragon Dance himself. No longer on the King, have to switch that up, brother, because you're on the Akuma. It's Ada. And last but not least is the reticent perfectionist. I don't know what that means, but I do know this man is perfected the art of playing fighting games from across the board. It's been rich. CAG Osaka, gotta keep the rack. I mean, it's kind of hard this season, as per every single season. It's difficult, but I think today might be their day. On the home side, they got the advantage, and all right, man, showing the games. You know what? You're showing the games.
I got you, Playboy.
He's
Hold
like
up.
17,
Hold
18.
up. I got you, Takagi. I got you.
He's like, I got anything to show, so, you know. I'm good, I'm good. Y'all too prolific out here.
My man is ecstatic to be here, right? You see it from his intro, and you see it by the way he plays and his emotion that he puts out on his sleeves, right? But this is what I alluded to. This is what Senkola had said prior to the break. We have some lies. We have an Elena, and it happens to be Fujimura, Sakonoko, Ryukichi. Damn.
That's a strong team no matter how you cut it. Mine's, even without that, Sakonoko on the Elena and having a Aki on the side that could do well against the Blanca if that does come into fruition. And then having Mochi go back to the Chun-Li. I think I like this variance. And then also, you know, you have a player that knows how to play Chun-Li to out practice against Uryo if he does whip out that character if need be. That's a good away side. But Takaki goes up first. He is definitely more than ready right now to play.
He's excited, and he also got a haircut. Right on, dude. He is so ecstatic to play. I'll tell you what. But he's gonna be playing Blanca up against the Mai. I don't mind this actually. When we talk about matchups that Mai kind of struggles against, I don't think there really is one. But Blanca is definitely a character that can give her problems. I say that because there are certain distances where his slide can absolutely break the fireball rhythm, right? Whether she holds it or whether she's within range, Blanca's gonna be able to shut that down. More often than not, most Mai players are gonna be looking for that opener. So Fujimura is gonna be really put to the test. I think more so in regards to not throwing out the fireballs against Takagi, but it also depends if Takagi is ready for footsies against someone like well-versed and well-established like Fujimura. Right? I think, if anything, Fujimura can do well without the fireballs. It's just a matter of whether or not Takagi knows it to, like, stop him from doing so.
That being said, though, like, there is some benefit to having a TK Blanca ball that you can, like, approach from the air. So if they do play, like, an extended button, like a stand medium or a stand fierce, or a crouching medium kick, you do have an option to blow that up. So the economy of buttons also has to be properly done too as well, not just the fireballs. But that being said, you know, you're right in terms of Fujimura being one of those cats that has been around the block for a long time. If he's playing a character, he understands what makes the character good and what makes the character cheap, if we're being so real. And he molds his game plan around that stuff and then goes from there. He's never reliant or too reliant upon the OD fans, but he'll make them a prominent part of his game plan and then evolve from there. So, you know, he's a long-standing player. We've known him from years upon years. Takagi, though, it's just one of those cats that, you know, he has that young energy. He's coming in here excited to play some Street Fighter. He might be nervous, but he probably is also way more excited than he is nervous or afraid or whatever to play. And having that kind of energy is a dangerous energy. Sahara, for him, whenever I watch him stream, he's smiling, he's laughing, playing ranked. Takagi right now pulling up first match for his team, having a good old time, showing off, flexing and stuff. That's a dangerous energy. That's a young man energy where you just like, you're not afraid, but you're probably confident in your decision making in playing a fighting game. And having confidence in your decision making in this game is a really good sign. So for him on his side, maybe not as seasoned, but he might be spicy enough to take the win over Fujimura.
Possibly. I could see that happening. I think there's a couple of looks that like Takagi can deliver and also be ready for. It's really up to Fujimura to kind of like recognize those patterns quickly and make those adaptations. I think I like, in terms of like the adaptation department, I think there's way more points on the side of Fujimura than towards Takagi, only based off of history. But that's about it, just history, right?
Yes, he's been around the block so long, and he's played at EVO, offline, online. So I'm wondering, you know, like, because we saw Takagi kind of be like a little bit of like a brawler type of Blanca. I'm wondering how he's going to, if he's willing to slug it out with him, or it's kind of like wait for him to like kind of expose like an ODP or a bad button. We're getting interviews though. Fujimura said, I did a lot of practice because Ryukichi said so. He said he'll do Harakiri if I predict it wrong.
In game.
He said, on your
I want to
soul.
mention in game.
In game.
Yes.
In game.
I want to make sure.
In Street Fighter 6.
That, yeah. I want to make sure that he says in game at the end of that one, because I don't think that's appropriate. But I'll tell you what, man. Fujimura has such a way with words, man. He really does. Takagi on the other side, there's a lot of Mai's. I did a lot of this matchup, so I'm pretty confident. I wanna win. You know, I like the bright eyes of the future when it comes to Street Fighter 6. And I like Takagi's attitude about it all. I'm pretty excited to see how he plays against someone like Fujimura.
We'll see how it goes down. First match. If you've been playing in Japan, you've probably played a lot of Mai's, even around the world. Stand medium is able to land though. Fujimura going to take it towards the corner. What's the play on wake up? Back rise, protect the throw. So far, decent defense from Takagi. Honestly, he's in the proper range where if he needs to slide, he can do so. It's not necessary.
Yeah, right now is that range, right? Fujimura knows it too, hence why he was so reluctant, but he does get the medium. That's the one I was talking about right there. Forcing Fujimura off of the gas from the fireball game. Does expose the low. Takagi having great momentum and also opts to go for the Blanca-chan.
Okay, Takagi no Mai. Give him some distance away from the Blanca-chan. Lands the sweep though. Back medium kick, OD, both them burnout. But I'm better off if he can get activation. It's not gonna happen though. Fujimura able to finally confirm with the fireball right after. First round to him.
Kageru no Mai. Kageru no Mai.
Kageru no Mai.
Damn! OD airball to start it off, huh? We get the electric beast. Already in burnout is Fujimura. This is Takagi's time to shine. If he can catch, that's a pretty good start. Forcing the block string. A little bit of chip, but more so the throw. Dash up on in there. If your objective is to get to the corner, you might just succeed in doing so. Drive rush on in. Drive impact going to be nullified. Kageru no Mai yet again. Low forward, checking Takagi on wake up. Not going to be able to suss himself out with any sort of movement. OD is going to get destroyed.
Big reward. You have the enhancement. Level 1. Kageru no Mai. Let's do it right that time, hopefully. Okay, Fujimura.
Optimal. That was mad optimal. Did you see how much damage that did into level 1? That's crazy.
Again, he knows what makes the character strong. Just like that, the OD fan to start things off, to blow up the OD DP reversal. But yeah, he's been a man melded in what makes the character strong. How do I build around it? Block a nail. River run slide, back medium kick, OD DP after the plus frame scenario. I'm gonna spin that bar.
Slide again. Very ambiguous with the command hop too. Let's get the grab. Oh. Backs away from the danger. I like that command hop backwards. A lot of movement coming in from Takagi.
Choice backing off, relying upon normal fans of all things. Now lands a crouching unit kick after he inches way in. Has the enhancement now. That makes the corner pressure even worse if it gets to that point, but he's in the proper range to slide. If a bad fireball does come through, he's gonna press the issue. Ooh, crouch fears. Empty nothing, hold these lights.
He mistimed it. I don't know what he's trying to go for. Uh-oh. Perfect parry! Oh, this is huge! Hella dead! No! You dropped it! No shot. And you can't parry the rest of it. Oh my god, that could have been with punish! And he just gets the raw Blanca ball. Fujimura way out of space and way out of line for going for the overhead. Takagi managing to salvage that round. Medium punch to start off. Punish counter benefiting Fujimura for this corner carry. Trying to get the mix in. Takagi absolutely ready for the fan mix. Not anymore though.
They're ready for that overhead though. OD, he knows that button's coming through. We've seen the lows, we've seen the stand fierces, the stand mediums. Blocked out, punished out, level 2, one more touch. Bait, take your turn, overhead, blocked out though. Oh, he needs one fan to land. Takagi, yeah. Couldn't get that level 2 activation going at that point. It's a done deal. Fujimura, set point.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough thing to kind of like activate into, right? Just one touch away. He tried to steal his turn again after the back medium kick, excuse me. So he's gonna counter it. Activation into the beast. Oh, you drop it! Unless it was trying to be a side switch intentionally, but I honestly would much rather just go for the damage at that point. You get the corner regardless.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna happen. Catch him on the way down, blocked out. Fujimura, low on bar, without resources. Throws to the bottom, more health. Perfect parry. Low enough to get the back throw, or high enough, excuse me. Just normal fans, just disrupting the rhythm. It's not just been buttons here and there, or even OD fans, even the normal ones have been kind of problematic in hiding the attention. Now the OD fan. There's that dash up. Perfect parry, we get in, but as soon as he tries to apply any sort of pressure, there's a DP behind it. Oh, the DI almost got him.
Does successfully get the burnout. Driver front in there. No, it's going to be command hop instead. Oh. No way! Reversal with the super! Fujimura sensing the aggression against Takagi and gets the 2-0. And actually, not too bad from the rookie. Making Fujimura bleed a significant amount on the way over.
Yeah, the top score doesn't really match what happened in the match overall, but like, he definitely has some great moments. It's just a few drops here and there. Obviously, as you mentioned, Fujimura's way more seasoned. He's been in the scrambles a lot more. He's been in the streets a lot more in terms of playing this game over years upon years. And you see it in the play of making adjustments, reading and sifting out like intentional things that are coming through from the other side. Those ODDPs were hitting continuously. Like we saw back leader kick for the plus frames, and Blanca was like, cool, I'll play a button right after. Not ODDP, immediately the bust out. On his side of things though, he couldn't get that many reversals off. As we see right there, there's a big punish comes through, and the optimization, of course, someone like Fujimura gonna have that. No questions about it.
I mean, we say that, but he was rather shaky on some of the big, some of the combos that he was trying to get established. But I mean, other than the big level 2 ender, but other than that, like, this was just a slight, like a pretty huge mishap. There were so many moments where Fujimura should have got whiff punish, and eventually he did. I was actually kind of nervous about that.
Little neutral slop. It happens. Fujimura brings it back. Good read with that super. That does give them 10 points right there to start things off. Favu Gaming in lead for now. But Sako on the Elena, who do you send up against him? This is kind of a weird thing because I don't really know her matchup spread in full. The only person I can really speak to about the matchup spread is like Pax when he talks about her. And that's really it, you know, besides like Chakotay sometimes. But that many Elena players to like conversate with.
Kuma. There it is. Gonna be from Eita.
When in doubt, go for Kuma.
Yeah, I don't see why not, right? I think he does a pretty good job of suppressing Elena's movement with fireballs alone. I like his normals that he can use to whiff punish as well. I feel like acting second against any Akuma player is asking for a hard time, and that's what Elena is kind of forced to do with her kit majority of the time. Sure, she can get a couple of like instances of like overhead from further distances. Like her ranges are very unique in a sense that it's like it outranges most, but it doesn't necessarily lead to the big openers that she needs. However, when she does get those big openers, it leads to, this is something we harp on a bunch, massive corner carry, really significant damage in the corner. She's got like one of the more higher damaging low cost combos in the game. So it's just a matter of whether or not she gets those big openers. And she's going to be mostly counter poking her way through to victory first, unless she gets like a severe punish counter, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, her being like having like low meter dumps for like some of her combos helps her to be like meter efficient, which is like a big thing that Pax did point out with the character, that people aren't really getting in tune with us or keep her bar up. That means that she's not in burnout as much. That means she can drive rush up more, she can spin it on other things. So like the better you get with Elena in that part, it just fleshes out her game plan. It makes it like more of a consistent character overall. But I do agree, like playing second to Akuma is kind of hard. The fireballs, even go back to that, having the variance of level 2, level 3 fireballs, the heavy punch fireball that's so fast, the light one that you drive rush behind or dash up behind, even like having a TK fireball, all leads to so much where she has to consider that it's hard for her to use her anti-fireball play consistently compared to a Ryu or a Ken if they're not spinning bar. So this also means that Sako can't go for the Aki on paper because Aki hates this matchup. All Aki players despise it. Broski sighs every time he sees it. So it kind of locks in the Elena, so it's a good pick for Ada to come up. But Sako says, I was assuming Ada would come, so I did a practice to win this game. We'll see if it happens.
He just killed a fly on stream? What was that? He just grabbed it and it's just like, alright. We'll see how this goes. Like, I want to see what the pace is going to be like when you have, not even just Akuma, but like Eita likes to play rather aggressively, and he could kind of go rather ham in taking these big guesses on offense. Like, we've seen that in one of his previous days, right, against, I want to say it was against Mochi, perhaps? Perhaps. Let me double check. Actually, taking a look. Oh no, it was against it was Eita versus Sahara. There was a moment in the final game, final round, where he could have gotten the best of Sahara's head. But then he just went right in. He did a drive rush and blew it all away. So I wonder if Eita still kind of keeps that play style against like all of his opponents. It's like more of like a mental thing for him. We'll see if that comes to fruition.
One thing has that variance though. I mean, we've known him for being the Wild Out Miles style back in the day. It's like Street Fighter 4. So for him to have the variance is good, and the bait is even better. Not playing a button right after. Based on the ODDP for free, has him up in the corner. This is where Akuma likes to work for extended damage.
I always remembered Eita for Ken for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It's Ken.
Yeah. No, somebody mentioned Akuma too in the chat. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure like there was a moment where it was like mostly like Ken, but in Super, yeah, I see him playing Akuma in Super too. So that's fair.
Okay.
I think he swapped back. I think ultimately he swapped back to Ken towards the end, like towards a Street Fighter 4, or sorry, Ultra Street Fighter 4.
On this game, all about the Akuma right now. Makes sense. Drive rush back though, spinning the rest of his bar. Put him right back where he needs to have him, up in the corner. He actually crossed him up. However, the crouching light kick saves a day that could have been devious to be up in the corner as Akuma, especially with that low health. That crouching light kick counter hit ends it with the level 1 first round.
You get the plus frames. So it was a tick throw, after all. Standing medium punch is going to be plus for Akuma. You get the punish counter as well. Dude, a lot of stray hits. Sakodogo does get the conversion into the level 1. Gets the Link Song for the frame kill. ODDP. Eita doesn't want any part of that mix.
And the reverse unlock. Perfect parry. Keep your ground. Trying to play another button, but it's so hard. You don't whip anything. He's got that stand light kick. That 4 fierce to stand fierce. Demon flips on in. He's on out of there. Excuse me. Found the exit sign. Now the low forward off the OD. Big commitment. Big spin right now. The big sip. Eita. Great low forward. Great just awareness not to overextend. When you mentioned again, Sahara, we fought that cat. He was overextending when he didn't need to. I like how he knows when to pull back. I know the game isn't over, but he already understands when to go wild and when to pull back the range just a little bit. Do what he needs to do. First game so far.
I think the pace with a couple of fireballs. Sakonoko also getting a couple of these perfect parries, right? If he's within range, or actually regular parries, if he's within range while getting a perfect parry to drive rush on in there, he does get fat damage off of it. But Eita not going to give him that leverage anymore, keeping it rather close. Does check the movement down below. Get the forward throw as well.
Drive rush, crouching leg kick. Huh. Like that switch up.
Yeah,
Even the Raccoon players.
Oh my god. Ooh. I mean, I don't think that's a bad look at all, right? It's pretty fast. You drive rush on in there, it leaves you at +1, so it's an inherent frame trap, right? So yeah, drive rush crouching light kick is not too bad of a deal.
Yeah, smart stuff. Tatsu, medium version. Crouching light kick again has been such a big point. I think it's also Osaka walking back, and now we use the low forward. Sweat on the wall, heavy kick Tatsu with the damage. Oh yeah, this is adding to another level 3 if he wants it his way, if he has access to it. He'll definitely get it off the ODDP. Right to level 2. Don't make a bunch of cutscene. All right. Just hit him with the Baja Blast. That's fine. Another perfect. 2 for 2. Double perfect. Ada. 2-0 on Sako.
That was not anywhere near what Sakonoko was looking for. He talked about being prepared for this matchup. Honestly, Eita said, I don't think you are, fam. I don't think you are.
So what Akuma players are you playing with? They're not to my caliber. Definitely a little bit different. You know, using crouching light kick is not a bad idea, but you know, it's not something you see so typically with the Akuma players that maybe he's not looking out for it. But after a while, if you get tagged with a couple of those, at that point, you got to be able to block low a little bit more, but it's hard to think about all those things when you're caught up in the corner. That Kuma has so many different options, and Ada making the most out of damn near every single action. Look at that. Crouch with a kick of the OD adamant fist, or flame, excuse me. Tatsu ender, and then you're right in the verge of building up level 3 in the next combo if he needed it. Sako made a big bet here with no reward. Man, CAG Osaka's Ada is looking real good with the Akuma, and I'm glad, you know, he did say that he wanted to stick it out with this character, kick it with Akuma instead of Ken. And it's well rewarded. 10-10 right now. Final game. Ryukichi up on the deck. Who do you send to close things out?
I don't even know, man, to be honest with you. There's been so many different looks that they've shown off for CAG Osaka. I mean, Eita, excellent choice. Takagi, not too bad, actually. Honestly, though, I kind of want Uryo more than Fenrich.
The way Uryo played last time was so good when he played the Akuma against Bonchan, but it's not going to be him. It's going to be Fenrich. I actually agree with your assessment of Uryo, because honestly, him working the Jamie matchup we saw last time with Bonchan and how I've seen him on stream, he is really informed with that matchup. But it is going to be Fenrich on the Blanca of all things, not the Mai. All right.
That's kind of wild too. Well, not too wild, sorry. The fact that he's gotten back and forth with like JP and Blanca is more of like the wild thing, but like I like this a lot. Like this goes back to how we were prefacing the Takagi versus Fujimura matchup. I think there's a lot that Blanca can do in the Mai matchup, a lot in nullifying like the fireball game. You saw how reluctant Fujimura was to throw fireballs outside of a knockdown. I think Fenrich setting the pace that way can really be a little bit of a problem for Ryukichi. Although we've seen how good he is with Ken, I think he's going to be much more reliant on normals and whiff punishing and just everything outside of the box that doesn't involve fireballs, right? I think Ryukichi is more than enough to manage that, but you will see the fireball game being severely halted.
It's definitely true. I think he's going to be a little bit more with more time to grind this out, informed of what his decision making needs to be, and also realizing what they're going to do, because I feel like Takagi, obviously he's young, he's new. He was getting hit with every ODDP, every reverse. So I think First is going to be a little bit more active in terms of learning what Ryukichi wants to do on his wake-up decisions and baiting those out a little bit more often. So it might be better for him overall. So this matchup is going to look definitely different no matter how you slice it. Finrush also could go to the JP if things do get dicey for him, but I think the Blanca might be just fine for him. Ryukichi said, I made the perfect order. I have Ken after this. I'll do my best. So maybe he's prefacing, if things do go bad for Mai, Ken is a good matchup against Blanca. Blanca players hate that. Shouts out to Big Bo. Every time I see him streaming, he sees a Ken, he's crashing out. So I understand the fact that he's got, if things do get bad, even if the JP comes up, Ken JP, still not that bad of a matchup this season either. So it was good for him to come as an anchor position. Good call on his side.
Not bad. Yeah, having that extra game, if need be, is a pretty much game changer too. But let's see. Let's kind of plan it out here. So Fenrich, let's say he wins with Blanca the first one. Ryukichi goes to Ken. JP comes out for Fenrich, gets it again. Switches off to Mai again for Ryukichi, going back and forth, maybe taking that risk 2-2. Then he's stuck on Mai. Fenrich goes back to Blanca and possibly takes it, right? Like just I'm just saying, like that could spell a little bit of a problem for Ryukichi if the Blanca doesn't serve out both Mai and Ken, right?
So at that point, I feel like he should just, if that does happen, just run Ken for like the last two matches. Like just at that point, if you switch, you better stick with Ken at that point. But we'll see what happens, who switches or who's getting off the sticks. Doris said this matchup was a good game. I predict I made Blanca ready for this. So I'll do my best. This is the last match of the night. Mai versus Blanca to start it off. Let's get it. Oh. Drive rush overhead to try to start things off, but the whip punish is there. This gets the heavy kick using the stand Pierce. Taking towards the corner.
Jesus. Hella damage incoming too. Big risk to take. Ryukichi, did you do it again? No, you don't. Oh, that could have been slide. Dude, I'm telling you, the Amazon River run is mad far.
It is. And a hurt box too allows that to happen. The level 2, yes, the finish, Ryukichi. First round though. But I think if Finrich gets to that point where he's comfortable doing that slide, we've seen a lot less of those fireballs, a lot more victories on his side of things. Interrupts the drive rush round start this time with the jab. And the low.
There was only one fireball that round, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I think there was more.
OD, I like the drive reversal. Fenrich is going to be drained out of his drive reversal regardless, so that's a smart choice. Lightning Beast, big chillin'. You can't. No, drive rush forward against the Blanca ball with the uppercut. You get automatic unchecked no matter what because of your lack of resources. Ryukichi, level 1, you got it.
Yeah, spin more buttons, you're right. Especially in round start, Brand against the drive rush. Round start, I don't even know what the button was that time. First time was overhead. The second time got checked and challenged. Up in the corner, took so much life and health. Ryukichi takes first game and Finrich sticks with the Blanca for now.
Trying to jump out of the way of plus frames. Totally understandable. That's OD. That was an expensive one too. Ryukichi, rather low. Yeah, he's just trying to get out of there, right? He's opting not to block and get burnt out because of the 0 bars to his name. No anti-air! Fenrich lets him out for free! Tax on some damage on top!
Kick. No heavy kick, no back medium kick, nothing? Uh-oh. Heavy kick the low right after, switching it up. Not a throw this time. There was pressure. And the timing just not right there for Finrich. Hop gets the knee bombs. It should beat up the stand fierce. Yes, sir. Finrich able to escape and catch a recovery.
Looking pretty good so far as Fenrich. Although, not as that punish counter fireball. Ryukichi, no big conversion off of some of these mediums. I know it was a counter at start too. Electricity canceled into Lightning Beast. Dash up on in there. Command dash, command hop, excuse me. Overhead, that's a counter hit. Ryukichi pressed the button.
Blanca-chan pops him up high enough to fly. The throw, still right there. You get the pickup. TK Blanca ball. Trying to finish off with the throw. Oh, nah, but all it takes is a buffer. We'll get the Oki. Immediate level 3, excuse me. Now I'm gonna go for the knockdown. Once again, his drive gauge back at full, or at least back in the green. Chunk of damage. There it is. Now it's in the green. Now you can OD fan. But the perfect parry, jump back TK Blanca Ball. The sequencing, the saucing was sick. Vicrix.
I'm gonna let you know right now. It was godlike. But that's definitely no TK. I know you said it earlier, you said it again. It's not a TK. No, 100% no.
Pardon me.
You're good. I'm letting you know, just for future reference. It was sick though. It was pretty godlike.
You don't want to do that. You know, that was like a thing for Blanca at all, to be honest.
No, it's just instant airball. It's not really like a. It's not. You know, it doesn't get the connotation of a tiger knee because that's not how the move works. That's all it is.
So it doesn't count the TK. Yeah, my mistake then.
No, it does not. No.
Oh, was a punish counter on that crouching medium punch in the river run. OD. It's a level. No. I'd like it level 2. Excuse me. Plus strength city. But you have to back off. Yeah, you don't want to get back thrown. Being burnout gets his character.
Oh. Level 2 on deck while getting your drive gauge 2. A pretty beneficial, I think, positioning for Fenrich despite the life deficit. Unless you do something crazy like that. That's rough. That is rough. Ryukichi is just constantly ready. What do we say about it, right? If he's not, like, if he doesn't have to throw the fireball game, everything else at his disposal is so strong.
Walk down, lift off. You like that neutral jump punish? ODDP on the wake up for Ryukichi. Can that reversal off? Oh, the cross up block without the throw. I mean, goes to the block ball. You saw him walk back to avoid it. The final punch on the recovery should be level 3. Oh yeah, of course. Ryukichi. He is understanding the movement options of Vicrix, forcing when he wants to come through in the aerial approach, and that's 2. Now, do we switch?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, JP versus Mai? I'm not sure how practiced he is with the JP, because he had a specific objective in mind, right? Like he wanted to do Blanca against Ryukichi specifically, right?
Yeah.
And he said it himself. He's like, this matchup is a good game, and he made Blanca ready for that exact purpose. So I don't think JP comes out here.
Yeah, I think it just holds to the Blanca. Then what are the adjustments that have to happen here for Vicrix? I feel like he is getting some things that we were talking about in terms of like sliding some of the fireballs sometimes, and being able to catch some of these buttons with the air Blanca ball sometimes. But it's just the back step to avoid some of the scenarios and punishing Ryukichi's optimization. The reward that he's getting on some of the scenarios also is benefiting him. I don't know what Vicrix needs to do to adjust.
It's hard to say like he has to take a slower approach when Ryukichi is just so adamant about like pushing you towards that corner little by little in like some of the more subtle ways. But like Vicrix does have like a couple of good ideas of keeping himself ambiguous with like OD air fire, sorry, OD air Blanca ball, OD up ball as well. But like some of the more like subtle nuances that Blanca can get away with doesn't work against Ryukichi. Like mostly like fake Blanca balls, or at least shortened Blanca balls, like using the shorter strength to kind of like not steal, but what am I trying to express? Close the gap falsely. Like, there's a way to kind of like trick people with doing like jab Blanca ball, medium Blanca ball, land right in front of them and steal turns. That doesn't work on Ryukichi, right? We've seen that a couple of instances from Vicrix these last couple of rounds, and it's been blown up like a bunch. But like other than that, like there hasn't been an instance where Ryukichi has like a fat life lead the whole way through, right? It's been rather close. I think if Vicrix stops giving away life with some of these tactics to close the gap, I think he'll be just fine. It's just hard, I think, to like get out of the corner. I guess he gets a little bit nervous when trying to get out of the corner or gets closely pushed to the corner.
He's had some good moments. We saw with the drive rush hop and the knee bombs. He's caught some recovery there. But overall, I think you're right in terms of him trying to leave the corner. Well, detrimental to him having to give up the life total and give Ryukichi like that slight lead. And that is enough to get that victory. Also, like the level 2, you know, it's been dangerous sometimes, but not all the time. And that's been Vicrix special. We saw last season, even this season, whenever you watch him in like the singles tournaments, we've done that, like taking away your drive gauge, sapping your life away, and then making it only a few more interactions after that. Hasn't been happening as much. We'll see if it occurs right now. Rikichi right now, so far, game point. Air block a ball, walk back once again.
Punished like crazy, so consistently too. Uh-oh. River runs dry instead. Ryukichi ready with the block. Doesn't get like a severe punish, but now the objective of burnout does get accomplished. Fenrich, you gotta hold all of this. Best believe a DI is coming, right? Like, he's gonna force the DI, even though Fenrich only has 1 bar, but he wants to mix first. He's so antsy. That's actually pretty godlike for Ryukichi. You build up mad meter off of that, pretty good. But you know, Fenrich also builds like a pretty decent amount of meter just getting hit and also blocking all that as well.
That means close to level 2. That's true. The jump back. OD fan expending it a little bit more earlier in these rounds. Ryukichi, you want to send it off to start some pressure. Oh, beautiful interruption. Take him towards the corner, of course. Rush. Doesn't go for the Oki, the dash up. Actually goes for the fan. Trying to keep himself safe. Not trying to let the activation come through. He knows what that level 2 can do. And yeah, you're not just going to drive rush on me, brother. Oh,
onto the other side. Hey, that was nothing you could do there. Ryukichi takes it pretty convincingly. Fenrich, no matter how you spin it, he was going to be put into burnout. So, excellent choice from Ryukichi to apply pressure in that fashion.
Fantastic work from Ryukichi. You know, I saw his mind, I was like, why are you switching from Ken? You know, I get it in terms of like the meta, but is this the right switch? You know, for some players, they're not making the magic happen, but with Ryukichi, he is. Congrats to him. You know, his mind definitely looking super sick, and I'm glad that he still has the Ken in the back pocket if need be. It's like, if things went bad with the Mai, I have another character I can work out with, so I'm ready for whatever comes my way, and he is very emotional. That victory closing out for his team. Fabu Gaming taking it over CAG Osaka. Ryukichi, I feel like he's starting to wear his heart on his sleeve a lot more too when he plays, so it's good to see that he has that emotion behind it.
Huh. Is that true? Hold on. I'm gonna talk to the producer on this one. Didn't Ryukichi get a W against Mochi in day 2? Ah, I see. It was the team. My mistake. Okay. Let me take a look. Yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah, Victrix Fabu Gaming overall also in a rough start, right? Like, they had 10 points in day 1, 20 points in day 2, and now finally get the big 30 bomber. Hey, not bad. 60 points in total for day 3. That's definitely better than most.
It's better than what they've been doing in the previous season. You know, Fabu Gaming was like one of the lowest scoring teams out there, but now you have a collection of new characters that they're playing with. You have a good, solid team in terms of, like, we got Sako leading the charge. The Atlanta maybe needs a little bit more work on the Akuma matchup, but Fujimura with the Mai is definitely a good switch up, and Sako can definitely come through with the Aki. And I feel like, you know, Ryukichi, again, like, watching him play Mai and watching him play Ken, at first I was like, why are we switching? Like, your Ken is so good, why do you need to switch? But the Mai, it makes sense for him. You see the optimization with the character, the same sort of, like, if you drive rush up, instead of using crouching medium punch with Ken, he'll use stand medium punch with Mai. It's like the similar ideas, a different character, but good execution overall. So they've taken a big victory right here. Again, this is another time where I called it wrong. I didn't think Fabu Gaming was going to win, if I'm not mistaken. I think I called CAG Osaka winning this one. But again, Street Fighter League, so hard to tell who's going to be taking it over either team.
I got mine correct. Hell yeah. I was like, Fabu Gaming.
Okay.
We got it. I'm at least 2 for 3. There was 1 week where I was like 1 for 3, and I'm like, man, what the hell is happening? But it's crazy to see it, man. Moke also being on the reserve, he's been doing an amazing job throughout the entirety of the season. Him being in the back burner for this week makes me think, like, you know, maybe he's just taking a little chill. But he has such confident teammates anyways, right? Fujimura, Sakunoko, Ryukichi, all like stellar teammates to have.
Yeah, good variety too as well. You know, and they can always go back to the older characters. Like, I know people are saying, like, we have a lot of eyes. People get used to that matchup. What happens if she gets you know, altered or whatever next couple of weeks if that even happens. But the fact that they have the other characters behind them, they're still keeping strong, is a really good like switch up. For most people, they're like, I'm relying on this new character. They can go back to their old mains if need be. They are going to keep them at the highest level. Mochi obviously has. Ryukichi will, if he had that, Kin in reserve. So Mochi says, you know, I was in the reserve and I couldn't get myself ready. And I'm really happy that the team won. I didn't have anyone I didn't like in the opponent team, so I was fairly calm today. So like he was ready for anybody that would have came up. And then extra game, he was like, I would have cooked up anybody. Like the energy.
That's usually his demeanor, right? He's like, I don't really give a damn about anybody else. I'm here to win. And it's more so like evident in his character when he sees somebody he doesn't like, right? He just sees red. Moge is actually mad funny, man. He's such a goober.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
especially in person.
I'd imagine
Sako
is definitely on like a different arc right now. He's not feeling too great about that work, and you could see in his demeanor and his like body language and everything he's saying too. He's just like, man, this sucks. This feels bad. Ah, dang it! Ah, I lost another one. Like it's.
Why you say that voice? You know, I feel like he'll get informed with the character. He just needs a little bit more time, obviously. I feel like Eita, he even said in his interview, like prior, he was like, I don't really know the matchup in full, so I'm just gonna do what I need to do, you know? And I feel like there are certain things that Dogura is doing that at least Sako can look to and take from. He's got the ideas in terms of being able to hit confirm and, you know, punish what he needs to punish. It's just getting things started. And Akuma's obviously kind of hard against that, but he just needs to figure out that game plan for that, which I'm sure he. Sako did say, so as long as we're able to win, so long as we're able to win.
No, he said so long since we were able to win. Like they haven't had a W.
Oh, my bad. Oh, so long, pardon me. So long since we were able to win, so long. He's been thirsty. Won't be ending with just this win. If Fujimura did say that Ryukichi did all the order and he predicted it all, it was perfect. Lucky I didn't do the same mistake as first episode, and Ryukichi said I was able to do everything right today. So Sako did say, thank you for the correction, that, you know, it's been a long time since we actually had a victory. Again, Fabu Gaming, last season they weren't really hitting right. This one though, look a little bit different.
Just have Ryukichi do the exact same thing for the next 10 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Let it rock.
All anchor?
No, I mean like calling out the order, picking the spots. I think he'll be fine.
It's cool he's become like a strategist of sorts, you know? Like, even though Sako's like the leader, you saw like a strategist on your team that understands what other people want to do, that is like on the ground, maybe searching on the CFN, saying, oh, they're playing this person, or they're gonna do this, and this. This is what we should do. That's really cool to have that dynamic in the team. He said, I work for the team. He won for the first time since he joined Street Fighter League. I don't know what to say in the winner's interview. I know Mochi is strong, but he was pleading not to go this episode. He's like, nah, I'm good. You got it, bro. All right.
I mean, like, no matter how you spin it, this is just such a strong, like, tight-knit group, too. Like, in terms of character diversity, what else can you ask for when you have two Mais that can also put in their sub-character? Right? That's pretty difficult to deal with overall.
Yeah, it's not like a direct answer to mine or like a character that beats mine, as we had talked about this entire episode. And even though you have two different types of Mais that are presented here, like Fujimura's Mai, Ryukichi's Mai, in terms of like what they're going to do offense or defense, how much their bar they're spinning, you have to actually prepare for them alongside everything. So I know they're super happy. Fabu Game is good to see them actually being able to throw hands out here in Street Fighter League and not just becoming a place to farm, you know, for points, which is, I think, a common thing for Street Fighter League. As a team pulls up after having a bad previous year, they get better next year. They get way better. They become like way more of a threat. You start noticing them a lot more. So it's cool to see that switch up. Sako says we won't be happy with just this one game. We will aim for the grand finals and so on.
Hell yeah. That's what I like to hear. And I'm actually kind of curious to see what the shakeup is like now. I want to see like which teams are currently at the bottom of the totem pole for at least Division S. It's been so tightly knit too. You've seen some really drastic changes in comparison to like the first 2 weeks. Like Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto falling 10. Actually, this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, where we've seen all of these games go 2-1, right? 30-point ball game to 10 all across the board. Like Nagoya got theirs 30-10, Good 8 Squad got theirs 30-10, and now Victrix Favu Gaming. So the point disparity now, or at least the point distribution now, is much more scarce in comparison to the previous weeks, right? No tiebreakers at all, and now it's just as close as it was already. Like, I want to know what the spread's going to be like, which we will get to eventually. We talked about the results. Nagoya NTPOJA taking it down over Crazy Raccoon. What a surprise, right? KB, actually it was more of a surprise seeing Bonchan with the Sagat. KB dismantling that immediately. Dogura getting his chance to shine with Elena in league, getting the big win against Otani. Shuto falling short against Mochi, by the way. That was pretty huge. You saw the rest of it. Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto falling a little bit short. Good 8 Squad, hot off the heels of UFA with their champ Sahara. I mean, you kind of saw that coming, more or less. Victrix Favu Gaming versus CAG Osaka though. Takagi coming in as the front runner. I was waiting for that to happen, and it also wasn't too close. We're starting to see the development of that cat against someone like Fujimura. I like the promise coming in from the way he's playing. Eita getting his first really big W, 2-0 against Sakonoko. Actually, still pretty significant, but we'll talk about big Ws later. Ryukichi with an explosive W, coming in with Mai at the very end against Fenrich's Blanca. Very nice work, leading to Favu Gaming's very first W.
Wow. Wow. Favu Gaming being able to get some points on the board and winning. Really good sign again. The competition for Street Fighter League, you want this to be close. You want this to be, at the wire, which it has been years after years, but it's gotten even closer now. Nagoya NTPOJA at the top spot. I don't think in my life I've ever seen them hit that top spot, at least not in a long time. Good 8 Squad after that. Soul right after that in third. Victrix not too far, only 10 points from third. Crazy Raccoon, fifth. CAG Osaka, sixth. Are you kidding? You cannot call who's going to take Street Fighter League. Oh, you see the teams, the players that pull up, you have no idea. I have no idea. The players are just doing something different out here. And now you see a little bit of variation. We're only in section 3, so we have a lot more games to go through. 10 in total, but man, it's time to start the grind. Before you hit that middle spot and you're too far below and you're low on points, and you're struggling, scrambling against the top spots, you don't want that to happen.
What a wild change of pace. Crazy Raccoon dipping from the top, from section 1 all the way into section 3. Then you see quite the opposite. Good 8 Squad starting from the bottom, now into second place. Nagoya making a very steady climb as well. CAG Osaka right at the opposite, and then somewhere in between you have Victrix Favu Gaming. But coming up next week, on the 23rd, Division F with Detonation Focus Me versus Zeta Division Gaming. Then Fukushima Ibushigen versus Hiroshima Team Ikusa. That's going to be a banger, sure. Varel versus Reject as well for the marquee matchup. Then, immediately after that, actually I will say a week after that, because Tokyo Game Show is going to be happening during the weekend. There's going to be a lot of activations and exhibitions. Back on Tuesday on the 30th, CAG Osaka versus Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto. Crazy Raccoon versus Victrix Favu Gaming. And the battle of the two top contenders. Good 8 Squad versus Nagoya NTPOJA. You couldn't ask for a sicker schedule, honestly. These schedules are already predetermined. I do have like the website for it as well. It's over on Liquipedia as well, and their official website for Capcom Esports. It's crazy how this is turning out. Already into into week 4, and we get the top 2 playing against each other.
That is so sick. That's just how sick Street Fighter League is. To have a storyline just develop naturally, it just happens. It just occurs out here. Get the full schedule. Take a screenshot. Take a picture with your phone. I don't care what you do. Make sure you're locked into going down. We do have that the final CPT event in November. Here's what's happening in October coming up, and the rest of September, obviously. So lock and load in for that one. Evo France is going to be the next CPT stop, and of course they're going to have their World Warriors happening. Looks like the second one is going to be the second week in October. Well, that's going to be the 5th. I can't wait for that one. And of course, here's November. fully stocked. And it is going to be the first and second, my mistake, pardon me, when we have our last CPT event, the one in China, the last one, besides the Warriors and the points distribution, all that stuff like that in League, in terms of qualifying for Capcom Cup for singles, unless we're going to go. Otherwise, League continues. And then, of course, we'll be getting our playoffs and then grand finals later on a month.
Yeah.
And Tokyo Game Show, as you mentioned, is pulling up. There's a lot of cool stuff.
The Chengdu finals, the day one actually starts on Friday, so I don't want you guys to miss any of those days during pool play. It's gonna be October 31st, by the way. It's gonna be a weird transition going into like Halloween into November, but just make sure you guys don't miss it. But this is a stacked ass lineup. Actually, was that Star Force? It's the re-release or the remastered version of Mega Man Star Force. I'm super excited for that. We got the new Resident Evil coming out too. Damn! It's Sea Viper? Hold up. Let me pause and fix my face. Let me adjust to Sea Viper real quick. Let me just get a... Hold up. Let me make sure that I'm ready for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, Sea Viper, there's going to be a playable build at Tokyo Game Show. And best believe, myself, Justin Wong, I think Jabali's here as well. We're going to be doing a lot of testing as much as we can. And delivering all the goods to make sure we get as much footage as possible delivered out to the public. So tune in. I think they're gonna do a little exhibition too over at Tokyo Game Show on the Capcom Fighters channel too to cover Sea Viper, but I'm not too sure what the exact thing is. But you guys don't want to miss it. Capcom's online program happening September 24th. It's gonna be so sick, man. This year's Tokyo Game Show is gonna be insane.
That might be where they are having exhibition. Maybe I'm wrong, but they are going to be showing a bunch of games out there. Tokyo Game Show will also have some of your favorite players from Street Fighter League: Shuto, Tokido, Lashar, and of course Aru out there doing a little bit of commentary. So pull up and watch whatever they got going on. If they're live streaming it, watch Jeremy's Twitter. Please hit him up, and I'll definitely be keeping a lock on that and Justin Wong's Twitter and their YouTubes and all the content that they make, because I want to see what's going on with Sea Viper. But with that, it's going to be a Japan versus Korea match actually coming up. That's what this is. Thank you, production. That's super sick. Oh, that is godlike. I don't know what that's about. I need to find some more information. We'll give that to you. If you lock and load it on our Twitters, we'll talk about that. We'll retweet it. But that does it for us today. It's been some great Street Fighter League play, and you know, again, it's up in the air who's going to take it. Street Fighter League has some of the best land Japan in terms of the gameplay, the meta, the push in terms of who's going to be taking it. It's so hard to call. My predictions were out the window, so I definitely was lacking. Yours are better off today, but who knows who's going to take it coming up. We're almost at that halfway point. We're getting there in a few more weeks. We'll see who gets to that point, who's standing strong out here. Crazy Raccoon being so low is kind of crazy to me just in general, right? Like, that is a wild result.
Yeah, it's been pretty unpredictable, right? I mean, like, we've been kind of off with some of our predictions, but eventually we'll get one with 100%. So I'm counting the days till that happens. We have 7 more weeks of regulation, so I think we're just fine. Either way you spin it, hope you guys had a great time. It's been a blast being able to commentate with you all. Hope you guys have a great day, and even better Tokyo Game Show. We'll see you guys out there. Until next time, be cool, be safe, be easy.
この後、選手の音声入り本日のハイライト動画を流します。こちらもお楽しみください。それではディビジョン F 第3節でお会いいたしましょう。さよなら。3節チームマッチ1、クレイジーラクーン対名古屋 NTP 王者の模様をお届けしてまいります。そうですね。第1うまい。8強ゲーつないでいく。バレを選択。ボンちゃんが先にバーンとした。1球しかなかった。止めたと割れるから。これは KB。しっかり倒してる。
はい。いや全部偉すぎた。どまどま。はい。さあここはつながる。おせきた。返していく。これはいったんじゃない。ワンコンで入れ替えたら投げループで蹴って。おお。ジャスト。ここで指を待っていた。さあゲージは十分。簡単なのでお願いされた形。リクエスト通りでした。お見事ドグラ注文通り。中堅戦大谷撃破。まあなんもなかったな。いやーいい俺インパクト大好き。中堅戦
インバフル返ってきた。ピンクのロギー、シュートのゴール。うまい。うますぎる。差し返し精度は本当に高い。そしてここはチューチューから4.5か。ドライブに使わないで軽くな。この弾力。うわーっと。しかもカウンターで飛ばしてる。飛ばしている。ゲージは溜まっている。これが2年目のモッチ。その。
うわ。しゃらし。しゃらし。
ナイ
スチャンピオン一発かまさせてもらいますよ。よろしくお願いします。
やっぱ SFL は違いますね。まあ頑張ります。お願いします。
ありがとうございます。前が詰まった頭突き、その前に手を出していくサハラ。おかわりさせませんでした。さあ画面端はまずいぞ。先ほどこれもガードしたら強番だった。画面端さあ押し切りはサハラ。
ちょっと早い。危ない。こ
こでマチャが下がるか。出し返す。見えていた。勝てますマチャボ硬い。ここでシュート。
やったー。レガありがとう。レガありがとう。
イーグル。そして ESR。投げ2発で終わりそうな体力。ここはうまい。ラグ来る。いやーこれが強い。あらーいや残るかなからのスカイハイ残らないと判断した。しっかりと倒しきり。
いやーごめん。いやー前ダメか。いやちょっとマジでよし通らんかったな何も。
嬉しい。なんか嬉しいが多かった。
ナイス。
オッケー。10代から OD、SH しっかり倒しきりのプランが見えている。中盤 SS とか打つと何を見る。膝当たっている。打ってきた。叩きは投げのモーション。
いやー当たった。しゃあないね。おいナイス。
ナイス。
ここは中足。シャックからエータが倒しきりが見えている。この間が隙までするか。何が続く。ここで急ブレーキ。おしゃれ。エータの号機が完璧なエレナ戦を見せつけた。ダブル。
エータナイス。何ごめんな足引っ張って。
いやーすげえ。ナイスエータ。
判断だ。ここからインパクト。押し込んでいった。これはもう余裕のゲージは1本ある。今後ミスさえなければカゲロウのそうですね。うわっとラッシュは完全に止めている。さすがにリーサルじゃないんでさらにホムラストック。いやー後ろにしっかり体育。うわー倒しきりは。いやーしゃあない。
しゃあない。
すいません。
ナイス。オーディ課長。オーディ課長ですか。
オーディ課長か。圧勝にあざす。
これでサブゲーミング。
マジで嬉しいな。
いやー強かった。
今シーズンはなってますが、2023年グランドファイナルぶりのチーム勝利と。ああそうなんですね。
長かったなー。
トンネルを抜けた。